Imagine Alice Cooper with about 1/100th the money.
If the Cramps had been a heavy metal band.
Crazy as H, blood-splattered, ear-splitting hilarity.
The Wizard of Oz meets splatter horror films.
The gag is, you're in the splash zone.
You're covered with goo and blood, and if you're not completely soaked, you didn't have a haunted garage show.
It's like going to a horror movie, except it's actually happening.
It's basically walking into the most brutal, gory film right in front of your face.
It was probably the best part of my life.
I think of him as a guy with commitment to his art.
That's Dookie. I mean, he wants to take it as far as he can take it.
You gotta see this band.
Wait a minute, you're gonna get this.
Oh, thank you.
Hello, it's me, Kevin Vonesper, and if you're watching this, you have found the VonPod. Oh my god, look, I conditioned my hair last night, and it's so fluffy. Although I do need to make it a little bit more blue, but that's a story for another day. It is green today, and that totally fits on theme, because we're definitely going to be talking about green slimes and other green ghouly things. That's right, the guy who made this. There's mostly green, there's a lot of greens in this character, Dookie Flyswatter, including the hair here, his traditional early 90s hair, and of course the Martian, and even I bet you this is some green slime here, green tinted slime here in the brain jar. Yes, the guy who made this drawing is on the show tonight, Chad Scheres. This is the second time I'm doing this where I have someone who's in my documentary, of course, that you just saw the trailer for, The Life and Slimes of Dookie Flyswatter and Haunted Garage, which I assure you I'm working on in some capacity, especially this summer. Next month, I'm going to be doing a lot of work on this. I usually don't have people that I interviewed for the documentary on the show yet, because I kind of want to group them up till after it's released for the most part, and so they can react to it. But this guy, I had so much fun talking to him in the interview, and I was like, oh my god, if this was a live show, there's like a million places we could have taken this conversation, but I had to stay on point because it was for the documentary. So now, tonight, we can go off on all the avenues that we could have that I wanted to talk to him about when I was interviewing him. It's Chad Scheres, and you're watching VonPod.
VonPod. Welcome to VonPod. I've got chicken heads and deli creeps, scary monsters and super creeps on VonPod. You're listening to VonPod. With aliens and scum dogs, I hope you're here to chat along to VonPod. Welcome to VonPod. You're listening to VonPod. You're watching VonPod. VonPod.
What up, what up?
Hello, how are you tonight?
I'm good. Just to be inappropriate, this is episode 69. Yeah. Can you believe 69 episodes? So
Congratulations.
thank you.
And we're going to be talking about slime tonight, right?
Slime. Yes. What's your best slime story?
All things slime. Let's talk about slime.
Yeah. What's your best slime story?
Oh boy.
All right there. I'm just off the top of my head.
Best slime story. It would have to involve Dookie Flyswatter throwing slime
right?
from brain in a jar.
Yeah, that green slime, man.
It was some sort of Vaseline slime. It was really gross. Yeah.
Well, what I learned, it's something like that. What I learned doing the interviews, when I talked to their makeup effects people, it was, God, I forget the name of it, but it's the same sort of substance that they create to use for the slime in like the Aliens movies. So it's that's what he's throwing in his mouth, that gooey, nasty, yucky.
Slippery.
Slippery, I bet. Yeah, I'm sure it doesn't come off as easy as guar blood.
No.
Brandon the Great is the gent. Sorry, I read that wrong. Yes, like, share, subscribe, hit the like button. Why not? What's that to you?
And tell all your friends to tune in and watch.
Hit me up. I'll get you stickers. We gotta get some new stickers, because this got to be a sticker at some point, right?
Yes, and I still need to draw a new logo for you too. I have some ideas. I need to do that.
Oh, good. Yes, I'm totally just. I know your style would fit this perfectly. You don't need any direction from me on the logo. But yeah, once we have that, we'll make some die cut stickers. We'll get them out to the people.
Yes.
What's up? Where are you? What time is it where you are? You're in Seattle, right?
Spokane, Washington State. So yeah, about 300 miles east of Seattle.
Gotcha.
We're on the other side of the state.
Right. Nice.
I was over there last weekend for a show in Everett.
Okay, where's that in relation to you?
Close to Seattle.
Okay. Who'd you see?
Oh, I was doing a convention called Geek Fest, and it was a great show. They had wrestling outside. I was set up inside. It was a video game, card game themed show, so I wasn't sure how I wouldn't fit in there because I don't know much about Pokemon and stuff like that. I know what it is, but I don't know what it is.
It's not like you're not drawing Pokemon cards.
No. People ask me to draw Pikachu or something. I don't even know. That's like that little yellow guy, I guess. But yeah, I was kind of worried. I was thinking no one's going to want any of my stuff, and I ended up doing very well. There was a lot. It was Geek Fest, so I was kind of fit right in with the Geek Fest theme, and it was a good show. It was 3 days. Good crowd. Like I said, there was a wrestling match out they closed the street down and put a wrestling ring in there and had live wrestling going on all weekend.
Wow.
Indoor and outdoor vendors. It was fun. It was a good show.
Yeah, I wanted to ask you about these conventions that you do, because you're an artist, so you have your booths at these conventions. And when I go to conventions, I'm usually like a photographer, videographer role. And generally they're music conventions. Like people know me from doing the Dark Force Fest, which is Vampire Freaks convention in New Jersey here. I'm in New York, but I'm on the border of Jersey, so it's not too far for me. And it's like, we take over the hotel for 2-3 days, and there's a whole bunch of bands, and of course there's vendors everywhere. In lieu of like bands at these conventions you go to, I guess in this one there was wrestling, but what other kind of entertainment do you usually run into? What's the vibe at these things? Because ours is like just one giant party that goes till like 7 a.m. Is that
there is
hang out like that?
Yeah, there is like Crypticon in Seattle is like that, where they go all night long up on the 13th floor or whatever. After the show's over downstairs, everyone goes upstairs and parties all night. I don't do that. As soon as I'm done with vending for the day, I've had enough of people, and I run up to my room and I'm done. So I don't ever partake in any of that. But there's different, there's like at the horror conventions, there's always like makeup panels and interview panels with the celebrities, and then they show movies and stuff, which I don't get to see a lot of that because I'm always, my booth selling my stuff.
Yeah. They're like in the big halls, are there like DJs and stuff, or is there like dance parties there or anything? Not really.
No, that all happens upstairs.
Okay, yeah. Afterwards,
because there's so many vendors going around, and everyone's waiting in line at celebrities to get autographs and get all their stuff signed. And
right,
yeah, having a band playing in there would be really distracting for everybody.
Right. Sure.
So,
what other cons do you usually go to, and what are some of the highlights of people that you run into?
Well, I love the horror conventions.
Right.
I just signed up for one yesterday that's going to be in Puyallup, Washington, which is almost to Seattle again, in October, and Elvira is going to be hosting that one, and that'll be good. And then they just announced Kane Hodder is going to be there, and the guy that played Twisty the Clown on American Horror Story. And he was in Zodiac, and I can't remember John. He was in he's been in a lot of stuff. Walking Dead. He was a drag Queen on the Drew Carey show way back.
Oh wow.
And he'll be there. Not a lot of
Do you
guests.
get to like see these people? I mean, do any of these people like end up walking around and passing by your booth, or?
Yeah, they'll come around, and if things get slow, like during a 3-day show, I was at a show in Puyallup a few weeks ago, and the cast of Sons of Anarchy was there. But on Friday, it was really busy up until about noon, and then it died off to where there wasn't a lot of people. It was just kind of
noon. That's so early.
Yeah, but it was a Friday, so I could run over there and talk to those guys, and they're animal lovers, and I do a lot of charity work and stuff for the animal shelter here in Spokane, and so I got them to sign some pictures for me, and I donated them to the shelter, and we auctioned them off and raised some money to buy some food. So
nice.
David Lavra and Mark Boone Jr. from Sons of Anarchy signed some pictures for me. They were really cool guys, really nice guys. And I get to meet, people, this year at Crypticon, I got to meet Barbara Crampton. And
right, I saw that. Yeah, I think I had that in my slideshow somewhere.
Yeah, Reanimator is one of my favorite movies of all time. So, there I was standing there ordering my food at the bar, and I turn around and look, and she was standing right next to me. I was like, oh, cool. And, and the next day she walked around and came to my booth, and I showed her some of my stuff and went over and talked to her at her table, and she signed a few things for me and was always gracious enough to pose for pictures for me.
That's right. Yeah. Nice.
That was the second day, because the first day when I met her, she's only 5'3".
Oh.
And I'm 6'6". So the first day that I met her, when she stood next to me, I made a comment. I was like, oh my God, how tall are you? And she kind of acted a little annoyed that I was making a short remark or something. So this day I walked over, and her manager was behind the table, and I handed him my phone. I go, here, take a picture. And I went and hunched down next to her, and he took that picture when I was hunched down. And I said, there, now I'm tall, or now you're taller than me.
Nice.
And so that's me being 6'6", hunching down to her 5'3". So, and you can see the look on her face. She's, yeah, but she's really cool. Nice lady. And she was in Reanimator, which is my favorite. So I just watched that again recently last week on the big screen. They showed it here in Spokane. So I went and saw that again. And
oh, wow.
She's 65 years old, and she looks great.
Holy crap. Yeah, totally.
Yeah,
and then you did some art of her too, right?
Yeah, I did a couple.
That's in here. Oh yeah, there you go. Right.
Yeah, did that one. And
was this like something that you talked to her about, or were you like?
Yeah, I talked to her about it at the show. I said, I want to do some art for you, and she said, okay, do something. And I did that one up, and I've sent it off to her and her management, and I haven't heard anything back yet. But I understand they probably get hundreds of emails a day to sort through, and they probably haven't even seen it. So
right.
But I'm sure I'll run into her again at some other convention eventually. Who knows? She says that she comes up into this area or she won't do a show in the same area for 5 years. She likes to space it out. So we might not see her up here again for 5 years, but I'm doing some more shows down in California and stuff. So who knows? But it's always fun to bump into these people. I mean, I met Bill Moseley numerous times at horror cons, and he's a great guy. You interviewed him for the doc.
Yes, he's in the doc. I got to go to his house. It was crazy.
Yeah, he's great. And you heard what happened to him. He got in that accident. Did you hear about that?
I saw something about that. Fill me in. What happened?
He was walking. He was at a convention, and he was out walking, exercising before the con. Some guy on a bicycle came flying by and plowed right into him and threw him.
Oh man!
Numerous feet off into a field, and then just got up and got on his bike and rode away. And he ended up breaking a hip or I'm not sure. Something was broken to where he, they had to rush him into the ER, and he's been down for since then. That's a hard hit when somebody, full speed on a bicycle runs into you like that. So
yeah, he's not a young dude either. He's
he's got to be approaching 70 or so. Yeah.
I mean, he doesn't look that old, but
no, he doesn't.
No, because he's another one. He's just like has always looked the same to me. And
but he's been, and I mean, Texas Chainsaw 2 was what? That's 40 years ago too, or 40.
I know. Wow, that's so crazy. I mean, he probably looks older in that movie than he does in real life, though.
Right.
Yeah, that was amazing. He's friends of Dookie and co, and and he's. I bet you guys have been to shows together. Maybe.
Oh, probably.
Oh, were you at the 2008 reunion show?
No, I wasn't.
Oh, he was at that one.
Yeah, and I'm sure that we probably have been though at some point, because, and you just don't know. When I did live in Los Angeles, you would run into people all the time down there and not even think of who they were. And then when I go, wait a minute, again, they never look the same.
Yeah, right. Because you wouldn't recognize them from the movies, and there was no like social media to like see them all the time these days,
Right. And they always look so much tinier. Like I was saying with Barbara Crampton when I saw her, I was, oh my God, you're 5'3". You look so big on screen, and you don't realize how tiny these people are. And but yeah, those conventions are a lot of fun. I like to I met Joe Dante at Crypticon last year, which was great. He walked over to my table and I had a Gremlins print that I had done, and I showed it to him. I called him over, said, hey, look, I love Gremlins, I love The Howling, big fan, The Burbs, everything. And I said, you can have this. And he took it and he looked at it and he said, oh, it's cold over there. And then he walked away. I said, oh.
What a weirdo.
Yeah, well, he's a little older, but I went and talked to him after that, and I had my Shining pants on. They have the twins on the pants, and he liked those, and I got him to sign a Howling poster for me and everything. So it was really cool. But yeah, the people that you meet there are really cool. I can't think of anybody any celebrities that I've met that haven't been really cool. Naomi Grossman I met. She was the Pepper the Pinhead on American Horror Story. She was really cool. Elvira, of course, Cassandra Peterson, great. Dee Wallace, Sid Haig was the best when I got
R.I.P.
He was so cool. I was just talking to him at the show, and he was like, oh, have a seat. And we started talking about Creature from the Black Lagoon and how the first time I had ever seen him was on Electra Woman and Dinah Girl. And he's like, oh my God, I can't believe you remember that. As well, that was the first time I ever saw you. I was 6 years old.
Wow.
He played an evil genie on that show. And he was, he was always the bad guy. He was in the Batman TV series.
Really? Was he one of the villains, or?
Yeah, he was one of the henchmen of the Joker.
I do have it on Blu-ray. I never actually watched them all.
Yeah, he's always the villain, pretty much. I mean, those biker flicks or those blaxploitation.
Yeah, I remember some Pam Grier movies and stuff.
Yeah, the Pam Grier stuff. He was in all of those movies. What was it? He was in a racing one. It wasn't Speedway.
Death Race or something? No.
Yeah, it was. I can't remember, but it was. He had a really, really bad comb over. It's like he had a whole bunch of hair on one side of his head, and it was all swooped over. It was back when he was younger. And then Spider Baby, of course, everybody knows Spider Baby. So, yeah, he was the coolest. He was the best. I think that was 2016 before he started really getting sick when I met him. But then, later on when you saw him, he did lose a lot of weight. So, I
never got to meet Sid, but
he was cool. Captain Spaulding, I love him.
Of course.
Clown, Devil's Rejects, I love those movies. A lot of people hate those movies, but I love those.
I wasn't a big fan of the third one.
No.
But the first one I liked a lot. The second one, I remember seeing it at midnight the night it came out, and I remember walking out of the theater and just being like, my mind was exploded. It was so good. It's like this movie does not deserve to be this good. With I love Freebird at the end and everything. It was like, oh my God.
Yeah, I love those too. Good? But you're right. The third one wasn't. I think I watched that third one time, and I said, no, it just didn't work.
A nice little, at least he got him in there for a last movie. But it seemed like maybe the whole purpose of the movie was to just do that, which is fine. At least more Sid Haig is better than no Sid Haig.
Yeah, and originally it was going to be him throughout the movie, but he was so sick that they couldn't. And I think that really hurt the movie. It didn't come out the way that it had been planned, and they had started it, and they just had to finish it, and it just didn't feel right. So, but it was good. It was fun, but not as good as the other two, of course. So
yeah, I think the second one's a masterpiece.
Devil's Rejects.
Yeah.
Yes.
And actually, I have someone who does art for official artwork for Rob Zombie Co. and those characters on my show that I don't really do anymore about Phantom of the Opera. So
very cool.
Go check it out.
Yeah, I get that a lot where people will come to my booth at these shows and go, "Oh, is this Rob Zombie art?" Like, no.
Right. Yeah, you guys would probably get along. Artists,
Yes, we're about the same age, or he's a little bit older than me, but I think we just grew up watching the same shows and seeing the same.
Oh yeah, for sure.
The same TV shows and listening to the same stuff. And I remember when Sexorcisto came out, the Devil Music Volume 1, and I just saw it in the record store. I was like, oh, what's this? I better check this out. And I put it on, and I was like, holy shit, he was sampling Faster Pussycat Kill Kill, and nobody knew what that was, but I did, because that's one of my favorite movies.
Right.
You know, and then hearing all those samples in there from Star Trek and Hellraiser.
Just before the sampling laws.
Yeah, all that
they could get away with that stuff.
Yeah, just the fact that he had stuff from a Russ Meyer movie in there. I was like, oh my God, somebody else knows about this besides me. Because usually when you would say, I really love Faster Pussycat, it was like, oh, I love that band, or I hate that band. I was like, no,
right. Yeah, you don't get it.
Not that band. It's a movie. You need to see the movie. John Waters says it's the greatest movie ever made. It's pretty great. I wouldn't say it's the greatest, but I'd have to agree it's up there. It's in my top 5, I think.
I did meet Tura Satana once.
Yes, you did.
Yeah.
How was that?
It was at Chiller convention.
Uh-huh.
I was like a teenager. I was probably like 17 or something like that. And I don't think I'd ever seen the movie yet before, because it wasn't really available, but I knew who she was, and I knew about the band that she was named after. Actually, what I had, and I think I actually had her autograph, this was the Astro Zombies.
Right.
I had that because of the Misfits song, you know.
Right.
So she didn't look anything like she did in the movies, and she seemed to be bitching the whole time. But I met Tura Satana before she died, so that's
awesome. Yeah, I never got a chance to meet her. I think we might have had a couple of quick conversations on, it was probably MySpace at that time, and then she passed. So, but yeah, I was always a fan of that movie. I love it. I didn't happen to see it on the big screen down in LA in the late 90s, and that was fun. I think Russ Meyer might have even actually been there and announcing it. So
okay, they were doing rescreenings of it.
Yeah, it was at some theater on Sunset. God, it's been so long, 30 years ago now,
and they're still like, they don't really release his movies. I don't understand why they're not. I may or may not have some bootlegs of them that I watch, but
yeah, I know I
would buy them officially if they were available.
I know they're so hard to find, and I've got a few of them of the official ones, and when you do find them, they're not cheap. They're like $80 or $100, you know, and that's how it was when the VHS before the DVD thing came out. If you wanted a VHS of Faster Pussycat or Mudhoney or anything, you had to pay $100 and order it directly from him.
It was like the rental copy, right?
Yeah. You had to you could call him up. I remember at one point calling the phone number on the back, and it was actually him answering the phone. He'd be, all right, I'm like, yeah, I want a copy of Mudhoney, or what's your address? Okay, what's your credit card number? And he would mail that out to you, and it would come, but it was like $100 for a VHS tape. Yeah.
Fiercely independent. Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I wonder, whoever has his what do they call it? Legacy is IP, whatever. Get that stuff out there and make some money. Yeah, obviously the market's there. I mean, you could sell them at these conventions that you go to.
Right. There's so many people that haven't seen those movies. I mean, and some of the later ones got so weird that they don't make sense at all. But I mean, like Super Vixens was great. And, of course, Faster Pussycat and Mudhoney and Motorcycle, Lorna, all those, just this hillbilly trash cinema, just so good. I just love those movies. And unfortunately, not a lot of people have seen them. There's like I was talking earlier about the movie theater here in Spokane, the Garland. These guys that I know just took it over, and they're showing cool movies there. And we're trying to get stuff like that on the screen. We're trying to get Basket Case. I would love to see Basket Case on the big screen.
Does anyone actually have like the film print of that to show, or did they actually show film?
Yes, they've got a 35 millimeter projector and a digital projector too. I don't know. And so they're trying to, he was explaining to me how the rights thing work, and how sometimes it costs so much that even if they filled the house, they would only make $5 for showing the movie after but I don't understand all that.
Come on, Frank Henenlotter.
Yeah, that's what I told him.
He's still alive, isn't he?
Oh yeah. I actually just last week drew a picture of Belial and sent it to him, and he wrote me back and said, I love it. So he's pretty
accessible.
Yeah.
I think he just lives in an apartment building in New York City somewhere. Yeah.
I
may have like crossed paths with him and not even know,
Yeah, you wouldn't even know. He's just this weird, funny old guy. And, every time I do like a Frankenhooker or Elmer or something, I'll send him a picture of that, and then he'll always give me a thumbs up or say I love it. And at one point I said, hey, I want to make some prints and stickers of this. Can I, license the image or whatever? He was like, yeah, don't worry about it.
Nice.
Okay. And I got his address, and I think I sent him some prints or something of it. So, but yeah, Basket Case is one of my favorites, and so is Frankenhooker.
I forget her name. I'm going to look it up right now. I should
Patty
know her name. Beverly Bonner.
Oh, Beverly Bonner, yes.
She died a couple of years ago.
Oh, she did. Okay.
Yeah. But it was so weird. I actually responded to an ad she put on Craigslist once for a videographer. I had no idea who she that it was her. And so she hired me to film like she was doing like a comedy stuff with like this comedy partner. And they wanted to do like a sketch that I filmed, and it never came out because I guess they stopped working together before. And also the subject matter was very like, of the moment. So it was irrelevant, like immediately. It was like a political thing, Right. But she actually hired me to film something for her once, and I was like, oh my God, it's the girl from Basket Case, and all his movies. She's in all of his movies.
Yeah, she makes an appearance. She's just like I said, she's great because every time I watch Basket Case, she just cracks me up. She's this the over the top acting of all those people in that movie just makes it so great. And yet, the story about how when that movie came out, nobody would show it, and so
I don't know.
Frank went in and cut out all the gore and then tried to sell it as a comedy, and then nobody wanted it even more. And then Joe Bob Briggs came in and Frank said, I want you to, show this for me and renew it. And he said, review it. And he said, I'll do it if you put all the gore back in. So he put all the gore back in, and Joe Bob Briggs showed it at some theater in New York. And it ended up playing there for years after that. It became so popular. And I think Joe Bob has mentioned that he's neighbors with Frank Henenlotter.
I think I've heard him say that.
They live in the same building or on the same block or something.
Right.
Whenever Joe Bob shows one of the movies, Brain Damage or Basket Case on the last drive-in, Frank's on there and he interviews him. And we get to hear all those little tidbits, like the one I just told you is what I heard on there. So I think I've
heard that there too. Do you ever meet Joe Bob? Has he ever at any of these conventions?
Yes. Yeah, I did it at Crypticon again in Seattle on it was right after the COVID thing. So it was 2020 or 21, I think, because we were all still wearing the masks. But yeah, him and Darcy were both there.
Nice.
Which Darcy isn't really Darcy, and Joe Bob's not really Joe Bob. I try and explain that to people. They're like, no, that's really him. I was like, no, his name is John Bloom. He's an actor. He's playing a part. He's playing Joe Bob Briggs. Yeah. And Darcy is not Darcy. She's Diana, and she's playing Darcy the mail girl. But
yeah, and even her Instagram and stuff is like her real name. And whatever.
People don't want to hear that, though. They don't want to hear Cassandra Peterson as Elvira, and they don't want to hear that Paul Rubens is Pee Wee Herman.
Of course they are.
They're
especially that. I mean, there's like sketch comedy.
Yeah, people
Elvira and Pee Wee.
And people get offended at stuff that Joe Bob says. I can't believe that's a character that he's playing, and a lot of that's forced because that's what Joe Bob would say.
Yeah, he's a very smart guy. I mean, I've never met him, but you can just tell like he's writing. I think he writes most of his own material for the show, so it's like, oh my God, that's like a lot of smart shit.
and he wrote that book about that woman that killed her husband. I can't think of the name of it, but they've made like 2 movies about it within the last 5 years. One of them was on Hulu and the other one was on HBO, I think. But there was 2 different versions of this movie, but he wrote that book.
Was it any good? Did you see the movies?
I watched both of them, and they were both really great. But it was about this woman who I can't think of her name right now, but she murdered her husband or murdered her husband's girlfriend, and it was in Texas back in the 80s. And who was the one that was in that Texas Chainsaw remake? That Jessica, whatever I can't. She played the part in one of them, and then in the other movie, it was the one that played one of them Olsen girls that was in the Avengers movie.
Okay, yeah. The witch.
Yeah,
Scarlet Witch.
But they were both fun movies, and John Bloom, Joe Bob Briggs, wrote that book about that. It was a true crime thing, and I love true crime stuff.
I was gonna say, was it like a fictionalization novel of it, or was it like just a hard facts, not like true crime?
Yeah, it was a true crime book.
Wow.
Yeah.
I would, if anyone's watching who knows Joe Bob, I would love to have him in my documentary, just as like a movie expert.
Yes.
You know, to like just he talks about all these movies on his show and stuff. So
yeah, that would be great to get him to come on. And I don't know.
I've sent them a message through the website, but who knows if anyone ever actually saw it. So if anyone knows, you know, anyone involved there, like get me in there. That'd be so much fun.
Well, Diana Prince is pretty responsive on Instagram.
Oh yeah, okay.
Anytime I've messaged her about something, she always responds, and she really likes my cats, because when I post pictures of my cats, she always likes them.
Amazing.
And so, but I've got letters here from Joe Bob from back in the 90s when I would, you know, draw funny pictures and mail them off to him, because I've been watching him for years, and he always responded. He was really nice about it. And then when I did meet him at Crypticon that one year, him and Darcy, Diana, walked around, and instead of showing them my art on my table, I started showing them all these DVDs and Blu-rays that I bought, and they didn't want to see that. Nobody cares. I should have just, now that I think about it, I should have went, hey, here's some of my art. But I'm like, oh, look, we got She Freak on DVD, and they didn't. So, yeah,
She Freak, that's one I never actually seen, right? That's the one Haunted Garage based the song about, right?
Yeah.
I've never actually seen that movie.
It's really slow moving.
It's on Blu-ray?
Yeah. Something weird. Yeah, Something Weird put it out on Blu-ray. And it's not a great movie except at the end. It's a very slow moving movie, and it's supposedly a remake of Freaks.
Right, that's what Dookie told me.
But Freaks is a much better movie. She Freak is just fun if you want some mindless old drive-in schlock. But there's definitely many movies I would recommend more. Yeah,
right. Gotcha. Yeah, I would just want to see it because I'm the expert on the Haunted Garage thing now, and Joe Bob, I've been watching him every night. Every night I watch like 40 minutes of his show, and it takes me like 3 or 4 days to get through a movie, but I'm slowly catching up on the new season. I'm on the Autopsy of Jane Doe right now, which is a very hard movie to watch.
That was really good. I was surprised. I had never seen it before, and when he showed it, I watched it. I was like, wow, that was really good.
Yeah, it's just a gross movie.
But it was really, really good. I enjoyed it. And
well, no spoilers. I'm in the middle of it right now.
Not going to tell you anything about it. But he showed Dr. Giggles a couple of weeks ago.
That's maybe the next one on the list. Yeah.
And Carnival of Souls was last week.
Oh, cool.
That's a great classic movie. It's kind of slow and atmospheric, and it's really pretty to look at.
I think I've seen it before.
Yeah, it's all shot in black and white, and it looks really good, but it is slow, and it's but it's a good one. He showed Suitable Flesh on there a few weeks ago. Barbara Parker's newer movie.
I watched that just independently when it came on the channel.
I didn't like it the first time I saw it, and then I went back and watched it again a couple weeks later, and I liked it more because
I thought it was pretty fun. You know, I used to listen to his podcast all the time, him and Adam Green.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I just something about the Spotify podcast section in their app now is just like terrible. So I haven't been using it at all, and I'm like way behind on anything that's on there. That's not now. I watch podcasts on YouTube, like this one. If you're watching, you know, and then so I haven't heard him talk about it.
Do we have people watching tonight?
We have 2 people watching right now.
Only 2. Okay.
So,
watch.
Some of these episodes are better on the rerun. Yeah. You guys type in some questions or comments and interact with us. I was going to bring up before when you were talking about Reanimator, Jeffrey Combs. Did you ever see the movie he did, Cyclone?
Yes.
Because Haunted Garage is in it as Haunted Garage.
Yes, and Heather Thomas.
And Heather Thomas. Yes.
One of the only movies that Heather Thomas ever made besides Zapped.
Yeah, she was like a Playboy model or something, right?
Well, she was on The Fall Guy.
Okay.
TV show. She was never Playboy. But you don't know The Fall Guy?
No.
Oh, you're young. That's right.
I'm younger than you. Yes. I'm 40 right now, so I was born in 1984 for a marker in time.
Yeah, the Fall Guy was a show. Had Lee Majors, who was the $6 Million Man, and he was a stunt man. And it was probably on from like 1980 to 84 or 85 or something like that. So yeah, you would have missed it. But she was on that show, and that's the reason why the majority of the ratings were there. I think people like to tune in to see her because they always had her in a bikini or something. But
right.
Anyway, yeah, she was in Cyclone which Fred Olin Ray directed.
Fred Olin Ray directed, yes, and he's in my doc as well.
Yes. And Dookie Fly Swatter and Haunted Garage were in
There's a lot of movies. It's kind of surprising because we have all these boutique labels now that put out these wonderfully obscure B movies, and there's still a lot of Dookie movies that have not come out on even DVD, let alone Blu-ray. Cyclone's one of them. Someone's got to pick that one up.
At one time, I had a DVD with Cyclone and something else on it.
Oh yeah, I think I do too, but I'm sure the transfer's terrible.
Oh, it didn't look good at all. It was really, really bad. But
yeah, The Tomb is another one. That's another Fred Olin Ray one with Michelle Bauer, and that's not anywhere. It's like and Commando Squad, which going back to what we were talking about, Dookie actually has a scene with Sid Haig. They're playing cards together.
Really?
Yeah, he wrote the movie, but he was a cameo. I don't think he even has a line, but he's just sitting there at the table playing cards with Sid Haig.
Been a long time. I'm gonna have to go back and
so like Commando Squad. It's not a great movie, but it's put these movies out, guys. I'm hoping my documentary, maybe from there they'll be like, oh, we should put out these movies.
Yeah, Hollywood Chainsaw Hookers.
That's out on Blu-ray.
Yeah, and I got a Nightmare
2K. There's a 2K scan of it. Yeah.
Yeah, I got a Nightmare Sisters Blu-ray.
Nightmare Sisters is out. Yeah.
Vinegar Syndrome, put that out.
That was wonderful. Yeah, because I love they had the TV cut on there as well. So it's like instead of the bathtub with the Haunted Garage song, it's them with like balloons.
Right.
And none of the guys are there.
Right, and then the balloons are just squeaking, and the sound of somebody holding.
Well, that's funny because the balloon squeaking is actually in the original movie as well.
Is it?
So that was the sound of the soap on certain parts of their body, and so they actually used the same sound and just used real balloons this time.
So good.
It's so funny.
It's been a long time since I've seen that movie. I do have the Blu-ray, but I haven't watched it.
So it's wonderfully terrible. I mean,
it is. That
4 Haunted Garage songs in it. It's like pretty amazing to me.
Yeah, and I remember the first time I saw that, it was on like USA Up All Night, and I was half asleep, and all of a sudden I was just barely paying attention, and then there was Dookie as a fortune teller. I was like, holy shit, Dookie Flyswatter is on TV.
Yeah, he gets his head ripped off yet again.
And so good. And Linnea Quigley, I don't know if you've seen that. There was an interview on one of these documentaries where she was talking about sorority babes and Dookie Flyswatter doing the voice, and then she said something like, yeah, that's his real name. And she goes, I don't know, his real name's like Fred or something. Not Fred, it's Michael, but she was talking about
Fred's the name of the brain. Yeah.
Fred is the name of the brain.
Which Fred Olin Ray in his interview says that it was named after him.
It was named after him. Okay.
So there you go.
Very good.
Yeah, fun little bits of knowledge.
Yes.
And I'll throw another one in there because I'm sure this won't be in the document. There's a lot of my first more than an extended cut of the documentary was like 16 hours or something. So now it's about 2 to 3, but there's a lot of good stuff that will be tossed out.
Yeah, I mean, I would love to watch a 16-hour documentary, but I don't know of a lot of people that would.
Well, I mean, it's just the A-roll, but
yeah.
And then I got to whittle it down to the stuff I actually want to work on. But this was just a really interesting thing that I noticed. I don't think it was planned or anyone else even ever knew about it, but what's the name of the movie? Dookie got sort of cut out of this movie. Oh my God, what's it called with Robin Williams and
the Fisher King.
The Fisher King, yes. And so the Fisher King. Who's the other guy in that movie? It was Jeff Bridges.
Yeah, Jeff Bridges.
Yeah. So his character is. So it's funny that I think you do see Dookie in one scene, but like his main part got cut out.
Yeah,
he's like one of the mental patients.
Yeah, I remember him always talking about that at the shows. He would say, I'm going to be in the Fisher King. Go to your watch it.
Technically he is, but like his main scene got cut out. But when I was combing through it to find him, because that I have on Blu-ray, you know how Jeff Bridges' character works in a video store?
Mm-hmm.
You can see on the shelf in one of the main scenes, Cyclone.
Oh no!
You're like, there's Dookie in a movie, in a movie. It's kind of weird.
That's great.
It's like featured, like Cyclone. It's like, whoa.
Yeah. And then the Clive Barker movie,
Lords of Illusion.
Yeah, he was in that for quite a he had a good few scenes.
Yeah, he had a couple scenes, and on the DVD, there's a another cut scene with him too. Again, he got a bunch of stuff cut out. But the best part about Clive Barker is that he owns a nude painting of Dookie Flyswatter.
You were telling me about that. That's
yes.
great.
And I actually interviewed the artist as well. So
and then
that'll stay tuned, everybody. Salacious details.
And then they actually did a song for Hellraiser 3, but it wasn't used, right?
Yes, that's true. And I actually found the demos of that. There's a song called Fleshless and Ballad of a Sick Singer. They did 2 demos.
Right.
And the story is they were at like the screening. It was like not even finished film yet. It was like a pre-screening. And then Lemmy from Motorhead was there, and he raced up. And of course, what ended up in the movie, Hellraiser, which I guess he also gave to Ozzy Osbourne later or something like that.
I'm not sure how that worked. Yeah, I think he wrote it and then recorded it for the movie, and then Ozzy put it out on one of his records, or they worked together. But I just remember hearing about the Hellraiser 3 song that Haunted Garage did that was going to be in the movie, and then it never happened. So
this whole story, it's like a whole lot of could have beens, would have been, should have beens.
Well, there should have been a second record, and I'm still upset about that.
That would have been my favorite record of all time, and I've told them that.
And what you've talked to him recently, or obviously at the documentary.
Yeah.
What really did break up the band? Because everything that I heard, it was money issues, that they weren't getting enough money, or they weren't getting enough recognition, so they basically voted to leave the band, or whatever it was. But
well, actually, it was Dookie's decision, and I think you could probably attribute a lot of that to bipolar disorder,
right?
Which was undiagnosed at the time, and now there's treatment for it and stuff like that. But yeah, I don't know. It was just everyone started clashing, and it just happened way too soon because they were just on the brink of like success, I think, because everyone around them, Tool, Green Jello, all these bands,
White Zombie,
L7, White Zombie, they all just shot the fuck up.
Blew up the following year after Haunted Garage broke up. All of a sudden, you got White Zombie and Marilyn Manson, and which was extremely lame compared to what Haunted Garage was doing. It was just, if we would have got that second record, I think that it would have been. And
some music videos. I mean, they were the most visual band, and they didn't have any music videos.
And what happened with that video? They shot the video, but they never.
I found it.
Yeah. Well, they never finished it, or why was it
it's just raw footage, and they don't even know who directed it. Nobody can tell me who the director was. Like, nobody knows who worked on this fucking thing. But I did find the raw footage on VHS, not the actual film. I have no idea where the original film is. It was filmed on film.
Yeah,
I guess it just sucked.
It's great, but I wish that would have, because that would have really, especially if they would have gotten that on Beavis and Butthead, it would have blown up, because that's what happened with White Zombie. That record
and Guar.
Yeah, White Zombie was out forever and nobody cared, and then all of a sudden they started showing up on Beavis and Butthead, and everybody's like, "Oh God, White Zombie!" And I went from seeing them at the Club with No Name with 10 people, and then the next time they came around, they were playing at the Palace, and it sold out in like an hour. And
did you see them with Haunted when they played at the Whiskey with Haunted Garage?
Yeah, they opened.
Tool
and White Zombie opened for Haunted Garage at the Whiskey. That was an amazing show.
Yeah,
fun. And I think it would have. And a lot of those songs that we didn't get to hear,
they're the best songs.
Fleshless, and we needed a good version of Two-Headed Transplant on
Judgment Road. Yeah, when I talked to King, he literally went down the track list of what it was going to be. Like, they had a track list and I don't know about order, but there was 10 songs that were just they were ready to go.
And did they have a bigger deal with Metal Blade for more?
No, that's kind of also what happened was Metal Blade wanted to cut the budget for their second record, and they're like, "What budget? We didn't even get a budget for the first record. How are you gonna cut it?" So, and they didn't give them tour support. They did go on tour in Europe with the Cramps, but they set that up themselves. Metal Blade didn't help with that.
Yeah, and it seems like after that tour with the Cramps, when they got back, they were done. They were just
pretty much, yeah.
We're breaking up now.
Yeah, a couple of months later.
Yeah.
It was just a comedy of errors, is what it is.
And it was hard too because at the local shows in LA that they played, they had that huge following, and everybody was into it, and everybody knew the songs. But then I've watched the videos of like when they go up and play in Portland and stuff.
Yeah, that's the Tiracon.
Yeah, people were booing them and saying you suck and everything because they didn't get it. They were like, "What is this? This is too weird." But
I want to know who they played with at that show, because I wonder who they were actually there to see.
Yeah, because I don't know how big of a tour that they did of the United States. I know that
they very limited. You know, they went to Canada. Apparently their Canadian tours were really great. If anyone in Canada knows who promoted those tours, or if anyone has any photos or I have it's video. A void. Video definitely. Like, they keep telling me, fuck the Cramps tour, the Canada shows were the best.
Wow.
I was like, okay, well, I don't even have any evidence of them playing there, which is nuts.
And I would love to see some of those live shows get put on vinyl, but it's like, I don't know if there's a demand for that. I would love to have
it. That's the thing. There's no demand at all. I have to create the demand by creating this thing, you know? There's there's like 4 people who would buy this stuff, and we're 2 of them, you know?
Right. People just don't know. I was in a record store today, and I was talking to the guy about it, and I was like, yeah, doing a podcast later, we're going to talk about Haunted Garage. And he's like, what's that? And I had to explain it to him.
That's why they need the documentary. You got to like, you got to just watch this, man.
Yeah. I said he was in a movie called Surf Nazis Must Die. He goes, oh, I love that band. I was like, what? You go, there's a band called Surf Nazis Must Die. And he was telling me about this band. I was like, I don't know anything about that. I know about the movie, but I never heard of the band before.
Yeah, I don't know if I knew about the band either. That's bizarre.
Yeah, nobody knows Haunted Garage. Unless, you know, it wasn't. Oh, they should have been so much bigger, though.
I'm hoping like this is just gonna really, really exciting. Every time I talk to people about it, they're like, how did I not know about this? This is like so, you know, like what I'm into. I'm like, I know.
And when people say, oh, well, they just went up there and spewed blood and guts on everybody and they didn't know how to play their instruments.
No, they were incredible bands.
Listen to that rhythm section, King and Stiff. They're so tight. And Gabby and Johnny, I mean, those guys knew what they were doing.
I don't even think the album's a good representation of them.
No.
They don't even like the album.
Yeah, and I love the album because I love those songs. But yeah, I can listen to that and go, oh, man.
They're not even my favorite Haunted Garage songs. Like most of the songs, my favorite songs of theirs either came before or after that period.
Right, and the ones that should have been on the second record that we should have gotten. I would have loved to have seen that second one because I know that there was big plans for doing, you know, more video stuff and, you know,
with all his resources and effects people and director friends, like I couldn't imagine why not have Fred Olin Ray do a video or 2, David Dakota do a video or 2. It would have been incredible.
Right, and he could have gotten all those Scream Queens, Michelle Quigley, Brink Stevens, all those people into the videos and everything. I think it would have been huge. But yeah, we can go back and talk about what could have been, should have been.
Yeah, Well, I'll say this about them, and then we'll move on and talk about some other things. If there ever were to be like a live recordings of Haunted Garage on CD or vinyl or whatever, I have them. Like I've actually found between like 3 or 4 different band members, like maybe 10 soundboard recordings from their European tour, just like night after night after night after night. They would just give the guy that's a cassette tape and get the recording, and they're not like perfect, but they are soundboard. And if the demand is there, the recordings do exist. I'll tell you that.
Yes, and
let's create this demand. So.
Yes. Colored vinyl with that stuff on it would be amazing. I would love that.
You could do the cover art, I'm sure, or whatever.
We just need to find 4 or 5 more people that would buy it besides
me. I know. Dude, actually, oh man, I wish I had it here. I don't think I have it in front of me. The Possession Park album cover.
Mm-hmm.
Do you know Alan Forbes? Is he in your like art world?
Never met him, but I know of him because he's been doing, you know, those
just thousands of flyers and
posters
stuff.
And flyers and everything forever. Yeah.
Okay, I was wondering if you guys are like in each other's orbit as artists or anything.
Never met him. Always been a fan of his work. Always known of him. So
yeah. Well, let's talk about another theatrical band because
okay,
we'll save the rest for the documentary, and we're
Green Jello.
Green
Yes.
Jello, yes.
Yes,
And I gotta promote Green Jello.
Jello.
There's my yuck for my character Kevin the Dinosaur.
Oh, nice.
They are starting their new tour tonight. I will be on a couple dates, and let me promote that. We'll get back to your art. But here's the tour. I will be playing the 9th, 10th, and 11th in the East Coast, PA, New Jersey, and somewhere else, Providence, Rhode Island, I think. Check it out. I don't know. I'm thinking maybe I'll play a guitar for these shows. What do you think, guys?
That would be good.
I just always try to find the dumbest thing I can find to play with Green Jelly now.
I will be at the show on the 31st at the Big Dipper in Spokane.
Hell yeah.
And I asked Bill if I could get on stage and play with them. And he said, yeah, you're in the band. And I said,
nice.
Okay, what am I going to play? And he said, I don't know. I said, well, I can play like a floor tom or a cowbell or something. He said, okay.
You got to bring it, though. You got to bring your own instrument. It's kind of like BYOI, you know.
I think I'll just show up with a cowbell and a drumstick and join them on stage and see.
Yeah, cowbell works. You can be the cow god, you know.
I can be the cow god, and I have a wolf mask here. I can be the big bad wolf.
Sweet, yeah.
Because I'm not wearing one of his masks, those nasty duct tape masks that he has.
Yeah, I mean, I do see him lice all that stuff, so he does take some care of it, you know. But yeah, here's the flyers, guys. Alchemy on the 11th, Dingbats on the 10th, and I guess we're headlining this like festival here in Pennsylvania, the Upstage Music Festival. So that's pretty cool. Go check it out. And then here's some art you did for Green Jello.
Yeah. This the one on the right, they're using for some T-shirts that they're going to be selling on the tour. And then the other one is for the show I was talking about at the Big Dipper in Spokane on the 31st, which is next Wednesday, I believe. Yeah. Wednesday.
Oh wow! So this is a flyer for this tour, actually.
Yes. Yeah. Nice. That show's coming up, and I sell those prints at shows, and everybody's like, "Oh my God, Green Jello or Green Jelly." Yeah. It's pronounced Jello, but it's spelled jelly. But I can't believe that they're still around. Well, yeah, it's Bill. He's still around, and he has like 800 band members in all over the world.
There's over 1,000 of us now.
There are over 1,000.
Yeah,
okay.
I'm number 237, so I'm like super old school, which is weird. When I show up, I'm like 400, 500 numbers senior to like most of the other members.
I don't know what number I am. I'll have to see, but I
don't know if there's an accurate count these days, but like, you know, there is someone did skip the line and they are 1,069, which is appropriate because it's the 69th show tonight. Hello.
Hello.
But I know I did meet a couple years ago 1,014, so it's probably, it's definitely over 1,000.
Yeah, and none of the guys that I knew back in the 90s that were in the band are down.
Oh no,
except for Bill.
Right, exactly. I mean, we're not all active at once. Most of them are very inactive, I would say.
I don't even know where half those guys are. Pippi Rockstockings and
some of them are dead, I think.
I think so. And then there was some of them that just, you know, would make a brief appearance on stage for 10 or 15 seconds, and that was their thing. Like the Rob Halford guy, which I think you were telling me the song. He actually did do the vocals on.
Yes, I have a video of them playing at the Club Lingerie.
Yes.
By Video Bob, and yes, they do a song called "Kill Yourself." And actually, not only does he in his Rob Halford attire and singing like him, you know, it's a Judas Priest parody, of course. They had people running up on stage, unaliving themselves during the song and just like creating a big pile of bodies on the stage.
Nice.
And two of the people in that show who did it were Dookie and the Duchess.
Nice.
So yeah, they actually I don't think they were official members of Green Jello, but they did participate in the show.
Yeah, and Dookie was in the video.
Man video, yeah, and also the if you want to go way back, the Eat Satan's Ham video, you can find them in as well.
Mm-hmm. I love Satan's Ham. I actually just got some Satan. Satan's Ham stickers that I made.
Dude, you got to bring those to the Green Jello show.
Yes. This is the artwork that I did for the Garbage Band Kids record. This is
Oh,
the inside sleeve of the record.
right. You did some art for that. I forgot.
That's on the inside sleeve of the record, and they said they were going to pay me for it, and I never got paid. So
You're never getting paid. Listen, let me tell you something about Green Jello.
so I just made stickers instead because I never got paid. So
Yeah, it's fine. They're okay with that.
I know.
The thing is, Bill's going to take the money from the show. It's his project. It's his band. You can be in it.
Yeah.
But you're not getting paid for it. But you can make your own merch and sell it, and that's the deal. So that's how band members make money if they want to.
And anytime I do some artwork and make prints or whatever, I always write to him and say, Bill, can I make prints? He's like, yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, he's very loose on that. He doesn't care.
That artwork that you showed earlier, the Jello Lugosi, this one, Jello Lugosi got a hold of me and said, hey, I want to make t-shirts with that on them. Is that cool? It's like, yeah, I don't care. Go ahead. Just make sure I get one.
Right.
So he's making shirts with that and selling them on the tour.
I'll have to get one too when I see them. See, I have to buy merch too. See, all the fans have just absorbed themselves into the band, so we're all just giving each other money.
I remember I had an original Green Jello shirt from the early 90s that I had bought, and I remember scraping together my change to buy it because I didn't have a lot of money at the time.
Do you still have it?
Oh no, I don't know where. I mean, it fell apart. Just like my Haunted Garage shirts, I had a couple of Haunted Garage shirts from back in the day too, and they just disintegrated over time. It's been 30, 40 years now.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Possession Park is
the glow in the dark
years.
Skeleton hands on it,
Mm-hmm.
and then I had one from one of their Halloween shows at the Whiskey.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, who knows where they all went now? They just disintegrated and ended up in the rag bin or garbage so at some point. But yeah, I wish I still had them.
I wish you still had them too.
Yeah.
Well, I wanted to ask you about do you remember your first Green Jello show? And tell me a little bit about the history. I want to hear about the old days.
Yeah, I remember the first Green Jello show. I had seen Guar here in Spokane right before I moved to LA, and that was before Scumdogs even came out.
Mm-hmm.
Then
what was that? Well, we'll get to Guar next. We'll save that one.
Yeah, but I was really into that. I was like, oh my god! And then people were saying when I got down to LA, they were saying, oh, Green Jello, Haunted Garage, you got to see these bands. I'm like, okay. And I think I saw Haunted Garage before I saw Green Jello, but then I was always watching the LA Weekly, and I went and saw Green Jello, and I'm like, what in the hell? It was so cool, but they were more costumes at that point. They were all, you never saw Bill on stage. He was always Fred Flintstone.
Even when I joined the band, he was like that. Now he just lets everyone else wear the costume.
Yeah, now he just comes out and pours booze on his balls, and people do shots off his balls. But
Mm-hmm.
He was always in a costume, so you never saw him. He was always the Cow God or Fred Flintstone or Satan's Ham. So, and you never knew who was what. Everybody was in different costumes all the time. So, but yeah, seeing them, that was really cool. It was fun. And then one time I saw them, and it was just awful. They did the Skajakwada, the snow beast thing.
Light Up the Skajakwada.
And that was the only song they played. But they had a blower machine, and it blew like dried mashed potatoes.
Oh no!
Crowd, and so that was just shooting all these dried mashed potato pellets out into the crowd while they played that song over and over and over again, and then they walked off stage, and that was it. And people were like, "I want my money back!" And then the people came to rooms and started scooping all this shit up, and that was weird.
Where was that? Do you remember?
That was at the Club with No Name, which was also the Cat House.
Right, that's what I heard. Was it? So the Cat House was just like a party that happened at that club, or was it the Cat House first?
No, it was a building on Highland, 836 North Highland. I remember the address, and you could rent it out for a different night, and it was a different club every night of the week.
Right.
It was like the Cat House on Tuesdays or something.
That was Ricky Rackman, right?
Ricky Rackman's club, and then on Thursdays it was the Club with No Name, and then it was, I think Ricky Rackman also had the Bordello there on like Wednesday nights, and yeah, it was a different club every night with a different name. And then one night it was a dance club, and the other night it was like this samba club where all the Latinos went and did, it was in a goth club, and different club every night. And it's a furniture store now, I heard.
Oh no,
it's really cool. You see it in a lot of movies. A lot of the movies that were shot in the 80s and early 90s, whenever there's like a bar scene or something, it was shot in there.
Interesting.
And it was a fun club. I saw a lot of bands there. I saw White Zombie there a bunch of times.
Yeah, I have a picture of Johnny Ho at a White Zombie show there. It was probably the same show.
Yeah, and then it would be like hardly anybody there, and it was White Zombie, and then this big giant monster cutouts behind them, like plywood cutouts and painted, and that was, and yeah, really cool. Cadillac Tramps used to play there all the time. They were so good.
Yeah, I have a audio record. The video got lost. It's a whole story. There's an audio recording of Haunted Garage playing there, at least one. But this one was the day it was the Rodney King riots, right after the police, I guess, lifted the what do you call it? I guess there was like you had to be inside at a certain time, curfew, curfew, right? So once they lifted the curfew, that night Haunted Garage played there, and I heard it was very tense. And they played Los Angeles by X, followed by All Hell Breaks Loose by the Misfits, just to cause some.
I was probably there.
Yeah.
I remember the first time I saw Haunted Garage was at the Club with No Name.
Okay.
And Dookie was wearing black Levi's and a Hawaiian shirt, and I didn't know. It was just like this little weird guy with green hair, and I was walking around like, who's this guy? It was creepy and weird. And then when he got up on stage, and I was like, oh yeah, now I get it. But there wasn't hardly any blood that night. Apparently they couldn't do a lot of the blood there because of the mess. But then later on, as it got, he stripped down more and wore less clothing because it was so messy. And
yeah,
Johnny Hope played a bunch of shows with no clothes on.
I've heard. Yeah, I have a couple pictures.
Yeah,
and probably a lot more coming. I'm very excited, everybody. I have a whole box of film negatives coming to me. It should be here on Monday. I'll be scanning negatives from 30-something years ago that nobody's ever seen before. Garage shows.
Looking forward to seeing
and
those.
Some Green Jello is in there, and Pygmy Love Circus as well.
I remember when Green Jello had their studio on Sunset.
Did you ever go there?
No, but there was an Arby's across the street from there, which recently just closed down. It was like this historic Arby's, and I remember going there to Arby's and sitting in that parking lot and looking over there and going, I wish I could be in that band. And I didn't realize
you could have been in that band.
If I would just went over there and knocked on the door and said, hey, can I be in your band? They probably would have said yes. But I didn't at the time.
Hey, 30 years later.
Yeah.
July 2024, you're going to get your chance.
I am going to be in the band. I'm going to be on stage.
We're going to be in a band together. Me, you, and Hulk Hogan, my friend. Oh, we don't talk about that.
Yeah.
And of course the guys from Tool and everyone.
Yeah, all those guys, Danny Carey and Maynard.
Yep, Maynard's the voice of the Pigs.
The Pigs, so much fun.
Here, let's talk about Gwar.
Okay.
So
Gwar. Oh yeah, that was Seattle a few years ago.
Yeah,
I got to meet them, and Blothar, who used to be Beefcake, had those udders, and when I met him before the show, he's like, you're a big guy, I'm going to be able to see you throughout the crowd, and you're going to be a good target.
Yeah.
And he kept spraying me no matter where I went. It was at the show box in Seattle, and I kept moving each side, and wherever I went, he would follow me, just spraying this blue crap out of his udders all over me. It was fun. Yeah. But yeah, they were fun. They're a bunch of great guys.
What? So you said the first time you saw them was in Washington.
In Washington, it was
like the Hello tour. Tell me about that show.
Yeah,
people show up. Do people know who they were?
Yeah, because it was really being promoted heavily as this bizarre show. You know, these guys wearing these costumes, and they put on a big show. And so it was at a place called 123 Arts. It had to have been early 1990 or late 89. Because it was before Scumdogs came out, and we got there, and a couple local bands played, TFL and Bastard Fuck.
Bastard Fuck. Were they any good?
Yeah, TFL is really good. If you
what does that stand for?
There was a lot of different.
Okay, it's one of those things.
Yeah, people were saying Totally Fucking Lit and 3 Fucking Lesbians. I mean, there's a million things. I don't know what it actually stood for. But yeah, they were great local bands, and they played, and then Gwar, and we're waiting, and then we finally heard the bus broke down. They're going to be here, and they talk about this in the book, in the Gwar book. They're in the school bus, and the bus did break down somewhere in Montana, I think, and they didn't end up showing up till it had to have been like 2:30 in the morning when they finally got here, and they played the show. And we all waited, and then when the show was over, and we all went stumbling outside, and the sun was coming up. So
Oh, wow.
it was bizarre.
Surreal.
It was really weird, but I was, a fan for life. I mean, seeing them in a small club like that, and it was just, it was amazing. And I ran out the next day and bought that Hello record, their first record.
And you were like, what the fuck is this?
Yeah, it sounded like it was recorded underwater.
Yeah, it's terrible.
Transistor radio. It sounded horrible, but I remembered the songs. And then when Scumdogs came out, I was like, oh my God, this is the best thing ever. And I loved that. And then I moved to LA in 1990. August of 90, and as soon as I got there and I'm flipping through the LA Weekly, I see Guar and the Rollins band, and
that's what we're going to talk about next. Look, I got it in my slideshow.
Yes.
So, and you know who else played this show?
Fluid.
Green Jello.
Green Jello. Yes, Green Jello opened the show, and then the Fluid came on and got spit on more than any band I have ever seen get spit on. Just loogies everywhere. The singer dove into the crowd and everybody ripped his clothes off, and he got up on stage.
Who, Bill?
No, the singer for the Fluid.
Oh, the Fluid. Yeah, I heard they sucked.
Yeah, I don't remember what they sounded like.
He tells me the Fluid was terrible.
Yeah, a lot of people say, "Oh my God, you saw the Fluid? They're my favorite. I love them."
Really?
I can't remember what they sounded like, and I've never really listened to them. I just know that
I should check them out. I never listened to them either.
Yeah, but the guy got his shirt ripped off, and he was mad because that was his favorite shirt. And then Rollins came on, and of course, all the tough skinheads were there and trying to start fights during Rollins, and it was weird. And then Guar came on and just blew everybody away. It was a great show.
I actually have a bootleg of this video somewhere. If you want it,
I would love to see that.
It's not very good quality, and I have to comb through it very carefully because there's actually a Haunted Garage story that came from this show. Do you know about this? Did we talk about this on the interview?
I think so. The Stage Divers song?
Yeah. So
10-Day Stage Divers.
And
yes.
Bill backs this up too. Like, he didn't know about the song. I actually played it for him for the first time like a month ago. Like I said, when I was driving him around. Sometimes I'm Bill's chauffeur from show to show on the East Coast, and
yes,
I spent a lot of time in a car with him. And we were listening to some Haunted Garage bootlegs from Europe, what I was talking about, good quality stuff. And I was like, this song is based on a Green Jello show that you did with Guar at the Palladium. Someone jumped off the speakers and got carried out in a stretcher, apparently, and that's the impetus of the song "5 Dead Stage Divers" by Haunted Garage. And Bill's like, I remember that guy. Yeah, that really did happen.
Yeah, and I remember as I was going into that show, Slimenstra was coming out, and she pushes right past me and started screaming, "Don't buy bootleg T-shirts!" And she was running out to the parking lot to find the guy because there was guys out there with their duffel bags full of bootleg Guar shirts.
Wow, I didn't know they were famous enough for bootleg shirts.
Yeah, and she was going after him. She went out there to go after him because they were out there going, "Hey, the shirts are $20 inside. We'll sell yours for $10." And they were shit. They were the shit white shirts with, it was crap. But hey, $20 for a shirt. I'd love to be able to get a shirt for $20 nowadays.
I know, right? Yeah, maybe at the Green Jello show. I don't know what their prices are.
But even like that show, I mean, that was back in 1990, so I probably paid like $15 to get in. Mm-hmm. Now you can't do that.
Let's see if there's a price on this flyer. $15. Yeah,
it was $15, which back in 1990, $15 was a lot of money.
Yeah, that's probably like a $50 show now.
Well, yeah, I think the minimum wage back then was $5 an hour, so that was a lot of money. We had to work 3 hours to go see that show.
Yeah, for real. I know, that's so bizarre.
Crazy. That was fun though. That was a good show. And then I had seen them at another. I think it was when what was the second record that came out? Was that America Must Be Destroyed or
the third one? Yeah.
What was the second one called?
Scumdogs.
The third one.
Hello, Scumdogs, America Must Be Destroyed, and then This Toilet Earth.
Yeah, America Must Be Destroyed. When I saw them on that one, they used some really heavy duty dye in their blood because my hair and my beard turned pink.
Oh no!
It would not come out for weeks. I had pink hair for weeks.
Did you have to like go to work like that or what?
Yeah, but luckily,
what were you doing at the time?
I was working at a feather store.
Store.
Yeah, we supplied feathers for the movie industry and for like Las Vegas showgirls and strippers and
wow.
You see like feathery stuff. We had all that stuff, and then we were also making props for movies and stuff in there. So I had a cool job to where it didn't matter that I had pink hair.
Right.
I didn't want pink hair.
Right. So let's go through some of this slideshow. I have some other rock and roll artwork that you've done. So see if it sparks
there's
anything. Here's Eddie.
There's an Eddie sketch card that I did.
So let me ask you about this about art. So I don't know anything about making art with my hands. How long does something like this take you? Like from concept to finished product?
It just depends. I mean, something like that, I was just sitting down one day and listening to Iron Maiden, and I had a little blank sketch card, and I just scribbled that out really quick. So I probably had less than a half an hour put into that one.
Whoa, really? Like the whole thing, coloring everything?
Yeah, that one was pretty quick.
How big is this to scale?
That's a sketch card, so it's only 2 by 2.
Like a postcard kind of thing?
Like a baseball card size trading card.
Okay. Right. What's this?
That is for a new Electric Frankenstein compilation record that's coming out sometime in the next 5 years. He asked me for some art, and I did that, and he said it's going to be a while because this is volume 33.
Oh my God.
Yeah, and he said that he was on like volume 20 right now. So, and
that's a lot of Electric Frankenstein.
Yeah, and then
I've heard him talk about that. I don't know much about them, but I've heard him talk about it.
Yeah, I don't know much about. I've heard. I have some of their records and heard some of them, but yeah, they've got a ton of songs. And I think it's a compilation record where there's more bands on there than just Electric Frankenstein.
Okay.
He did point out after I did this, which he didn't catch it at first either. I think someone pointed it out that there's only one L in Fistful.
Whoops.
I knew that too, and I drew that, and I didn't even think of it. It's like, oh, you're right. I put one too many L's in there. That's rock and roll.
Can you just Photoshop it out or something?
I did. I went and blacked it out, so it's the final is, but the original is going to be misspelled. But
oh well.
Who cares?
And more green slime, of course. Look at that green slime. It's everywhere. All right, so let's talk about tops. I guess so would you say the thing you're most known for is the Garbage Pail Kids?
Probably the Garbage Pail Kids, and then all my horror stuff, because I've got all the horror fans that like my work. But the top stuff, I just got on with the Garbage Pail Kids about 10 years ago.
Do you get recruited into this, or how does that work?
And
how often do they make cards? I'm like totally out of the loop.
Well, there was a post on Facebook years ago, and they said they were bringing back the ugly stickers. Topps was bringing back, which is something that I loved when I was a kid, the ugly creatures. And so I just wrote him a letter and said, hey, I draw ugly monsters, and sent him a bunch of samples of my work, and then didn't think anything of it. And a few months later, I got a message from one of the art directors there and said, hey, do you want to work on this set? I was like, absolutely. Would be a dream come true. And so I worked on a artist on demand set, online set for Topps, and then just started drawing some Garbage Pail Kids stuff and sending that in wacky packages. And then I started working on the sets. And the Garbage Pail Kids, there's 2 retail sets a year that come out.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
2 sets a year?
2 sets a year.
Like forever, or did they just start doing it at a certain point?
No, they started up in 2004, and they've been doing them ever since.
So there's 40 sets since 2004?
Mm-hmm. Two sets.
Holy crap.
Sets. And those are the ones that you can go and buy at Target and Walmart. It's not.
Do they still come in packs, or can you buy them as like a whole set?
You can buy boxes that are mixed.
Right.
You can buy single packs, but there's no gum in them. They took the gum out, but a lot of this stuff is online now too. And there's probably like 4 or 5 online sets a year, to where you pay your $80 or whatever, and you get a full set, which kind of ruins it, because it's more fun to go out and buy packs and build a set to me. But
but who has the time?
There's because that's the way that the kids are now, and the collectors, they would rather just buy stuff online. So
I didn't know like there was so much volume still. That's great.
Yeah, and I just do the sketch cards for the Garbage Pail Kids. So they send me a bunch of blank cards, and I draw each one by hand, and I send them back, and then they mix them in with the packs. So they're like 1 in every 140 packs has a hand-drawn sketch card in it.
Oh,
there's about 40 or 50 of us that do that, but they're all one of a kinds. And then the wacky packages, I was doing final art on the cards for some of the online sets, but those have cut down to maybe 1 set a year, and I haven't been doing those lately because they don't sell as well as the Garbage Pail Kids, so there's not as much of a demand for us artists. There's like 5 guys that do the final art now, and so I just do the sketch cards.
I just wanted to note the green slime again here in this.
There's always green slime somewhere. Yes.
Time again, slime again, green slime again.
It's time again. And I'm working on a Marvel set now, which is really weird because I don't do superheroes. But they contacted me and said, "You want to work on this Marvel trading card set?" I'm like, "Oh, sure." And so I'm drawing pictures of Spider-Man and Wolverine and stuff, which is weird, and that'll be coming
in
out
like sort of in what kind of style? Just your kind of style?
My style. They said just, because I told him, I said I draw like cartoony and
monsters and
weird stuff, and he's like, "Yeah." And the art director saw my work online somehow and got a hold of me and said, "You want to do 30 cards in this set?" So absolutely, that'd be something different.
Humongous is here. What's up, Humongous? I love the art. Yeah,
Brendan.
Go. Oh yeah, and I missed this one before. Yeah, there was a new Fall Guy movie. Was that anything to do with the old show?
It was one of those that was based
like a reboot
on the old show, but it wasn't. Like they did like a Chips movie and 21 Jump Street movie and stuff like that, but it didn't have anything to do with the original shows.
Mm-hmm.
I never saw it. I don't know. Yeah, not my thing.
So promote. Well, not that we're ending yet exactly, but let me go back to the front here. There's Dookie.
Dookie and the Little Green Man.
Yeah, which I love this absolutely, and I love that I have this is the original, right?
Yes, that is the original.
Incredible.
Need to make some stickers.
I know. Well, I'm waiting for the logo first.
Yeah, I got to do that.
Put the logo on there, and then this art you did for them for the whiskey reunion DVD.
Yeah,
they sold at the other reunion.
Yeah, and that was the one that Dookie was on Facebook promoting this DVD, and I just wrote to him and said, "Hey, you want some art? I'd love to do it." And I did that, and he sent me a DVD of the show, and
there was no art.
There was no art on it, but yeah, I ended up selling that artwork to somebody in Australia. I put it on eBay, and some guy in Australia bought it, so that's where it lives now.
So I was at the show where they were selling this 2008 reunion show where Bill Moseley was also there. I didn't meet him that night, but he was there. And I didn't even get a copy because I was like, I'll buy one after the show because I was recording it. And I was in it as well. They chainsawed me, So I was like, I'll get my merch later. And then they were out of them by the time I left. So I didn't actually see this show until recently when I started working on the documentary. It's like It's been out there forever. Now I actually have the master tapes of it, with all the sets. Rosemary's Billy Goat played as well. I was in Rosemary's Billy Goat.
I didn't know that. You were in that band?
Yes, not then, but when I toured with Green Jello in 2008, I wasn't actually playing an instrument for Green Jello, but I was in the two opening bands, and we all shared a tour bus. So I was in Rosemary's Billy Goat and the Radioactive Chicken Heads.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
I remember the Chicken Heads. That were fun.
They're still around.
Yes. Did you see Bill's new bus?
Oh my God, yeah. I've been looking at pictures of it. I can't wait to see it in person.
I don't know where he's going to park that thing. He gets parking tickets a lot, so he's going to get a lot of parking tickets on that thing.
Yeah, and every time I drive him, he's just like, get as close to the venue as you can, and if you get a parking ticket, I'll pay it. I'm like, I'll drop you off, and then I'll find a proper parking spot. Right. Because I don't know if I trust that deal.
Yeah, it might be hard to get reimbursed on that one.
Yeah, so. I'm not going to try, because I'm just going to drive myself. I won't be in that. I mean, I'll probably check out the bus, but I won't be traveling in it. Unfortunately, I'm just doing 3 days, so I'll drive myself. But if anyone in that smelly bus wants a ride to the next show, maybe we could talk about that,
And then back to the DVD, the 1995 show. After that,
were you at that show in 95?
I was not, and I don't know why, because I was still living there at the point. But I was probably drunk, or I don't know why. Right. But anyway, I wasn't there, but or I didn't know about it for whatever reason, but. After the DVD release of that I did the art for it, I was trying to get Dookie to make more. I said, hey, if you make a bunch more of those, or if I can make some, I'll make the sleeves and, copies. I think we could sell them. And then I never heard back from him. And I don't know whatever happened to him. I haven't heard from him in a long time.
Yeah, Dookie, I mean, people always ask me about him because I'm like the expert. And I'm just like, I don't actually know. I haven't really talked to him in a couple of years. He'll put a random post on Facebook like once every couple months, and you're like, whoa, Dookie's back, and then nothing. So he's alive. I assume he's watching horror movies all day.
I would hope
he
so.
does, but I haven't actually talked to him in a while.
Well, I know
I guess I'm due for that conversation soon.
That final show that he played at the Green Jello Loft, or that whatever that was.
Oh yes,
that was he was like sitting down the whole time.
Wait, were you there?
No, I watched the video.
Oh, okay. I was gonna say like I was there. I booked that
there
for him.
Yeah, I just saw the video of it, but
right.
You know, when I did that artwork, he sent me a couple of T-shirts, and they just reeked of tobacco and were covered with dog hair. And
yeah,
I must have watched those things 20 times, and I could not get that smell out of there.
Oh man, well he doesn't smoke cigarettes anymore. That's long gone.
Yeah, I know that was he always had a cigarette in his hand. So
yeah, he used to do like 5 packs a day or something like that, like just crazy. I don't know if I was that much, but
it was a lot. Yeah,
it was a lot. Yeah, he's off the cigarettes for probably 30 years.
Yeah, we think we all smoked back in the 90s a lot. So
it was healthy for you back then, right?
Yeah.
Humongous says Psycho will be riding that bus. Is he gonna do the whole tour or not? Like I gotta talk to that guy. Psycho Destructo, he's another. You know, there's a band called Guello. Have you heard of Guello?
No.
Guello is I guess it's started as a cover band doing early Guar and Green Jello songs, but they also make their own like characters, and now they're all just part of Green Jello anyways, because of course they are. And last show I did with this guy Psycho, I don't even think he played an instrument. He just ran around with this gun that shot off toilet paper and just like covered the entire venue in toilet paper, including the band. It's hard to play guitar when you're covered in toilet paper, but it's Green Jello, so.
Oh, that sounds fun. I'll have to check them out.
Yes. Well, if you go, he might be at the show in Washington, so you might be in a band with him soon.
Yeah, we shall see. I don't.
Yes, they have their own songs now, I hear.
Yeah, I think that Jello Lugosi is going to be there because he was making those shirts, and he said he was going to be there, and so it'll be him and Bill and.
Yeah, Jella, Slim, and Chris Mandry, the drummer, MC Equation. Those are like the guys who follow him everywhere, and everyone else is questionable. They'll jump on and off depending on the region.
It seems like the Lazy D is always at a show. Or...
Lazy D, yeah, Lazy D is usually there. I'm assuming he's gonna do the whole tour, but I'm not sure. Guello, Sharknado, check it out.
Cool.
And oh yeah. Do you know this band, Banana Slamma?
No. Banana Slamma. I have to look them up too.
Well, guess what? This is thank you, Jesus Chris.
Banana Slamma.
This is a good segue. I got to get to the end of my slideshow here. For my next show on VonPod is gonna be with Banana Slamma. Brutal Slammy Ape Grinds. They're like a metal band of apes, and they're from Richmond, Virginia. So of course I'm gonna have to ask them if they're actually just Guar in disguise. I don't think they are, but you never know.
I will have to check them out.
Yeah, check out the episode. We'll be talking to them August 15th.
I love costume bands. There's a local band here that is one of my favorites called Gorilla Rabbit and Chicken. And
wait a minute, I gotta look this up.
Look up Gorilla Rabbit Chicken. You will love him. It's great.
Gorilla Rabbit Chicken.
Yes, they are so much fun. And then another one that I'm really into is a surf band called the Go-Gorillas. I love them.
So there's like a whole bunch of like gorilla bands.
Oh yeah, there's tons of gorilla bands. Love it.
Whoa, I didn't even know.
Yeah, but Gorilla Rabbit and Chicken, check them out. They're hilarious. They're friends of mine, and I actually tried to get them to open up for the Green Jello show and never heard back. I was like, hey, this is perfect. So, but yeah, they're fun. They opened up for they opened up for a lot of people, but P-Lander Z was here a few years ago. And
I actually saw them a long time ago with Buckethead once.
Yeah, P-Lander was fun.
Hold on, we're gonna watch some Gorilla Chicken.
Gorilla Rabbit and Chicken.
It's ridiculous. Let's see.
There they are.
I don't know if they have any music videos, but this is the first thing I found.
This was one of the live shows.
Yeah. So what is this, like a Ramones song? Do they do parodies?
Yeah, they play a lot of Ramones stuff and some Devo songs, and just it's just fun.
Wait, and what was the other band that you said?
Devo and
No, costume bands that you're into.
Go Gorillas. Go Gorillas. Yeah,
Just one go.
Yeah,
and then the second go is part of Gorillas.
Yeah, it's Go Gorillas, but it's like Go Gorillas. Yeah,
right. Oh, I see them. Yeah,
they're fun.
Let's check it out. See, I'm learning things. This is great. I love my costume weird bands, and if
they're fun.
If I like them, join. Oh my God, there's like all these ape bands. Who knew?
And I just got their new single, and it's on a banana yellow vinyl.
Oh, let's see it.
I had it nearby here, and I don't know where I put it now.
Oh, well, if you find it, we'll check it out. Wow. I don't know what I'm going to talk to Banana Slamma about, but I'm sure it'll be interesting.
Oh,
sweet. Here, let me full screen you. Let's see the record. It's on yellow, you said?
The Go Gorillas.
Where are they from? Washington?
No, they're actually from Texas, Denton, Texas. And it is on banana.
Look at that. So do you actually have a record player? Can you actually spin these things?
I do. I play records all day in my basement.
Nice.
I actually today just picked up this.
Oh, I have that. Yes, I do.
Glow in the dark. Glow in the dark vinyl.
Oh, I don't know if it's glow in the dark, but I have that on record. Yeah.
This Black Sabbath Iron God bootleg.
Nice.
Which is Rob Halford on vocals.
What? Really?
Yes, from 2004, and it's on orange vinyl. Just picked that up today. And
dun dun dun.
Oh
yeah. There's an artist for you, Mad Mark Rude.
Mark Rude, and this one's beautiful. I listened to it as soon as I got home.
Yeah, terrible sounding record, but great cover. Listen, I love the Misfits, but I gotta speak truth. They never had a good recording.
No, the recording is not that, but that's part of the charm.
Did you ever get to see the original Misfits, or are you too young for that? No. Did you see the new Misfits, or the original Misfits?
I saw the new Misfits with Michael Graves and Dr. Chud several times. Saw them
with Guar.
With Guar when they opened for Guar
on
a Halloween, and I actually have, which I know is nearby because I just saw it today.
Although we don't really talk about Michael Graves anymore, but
no,
he was a great singer. He's a great singer.
A lot of bad things, but I actually like those records. I like
those records too.
American Psycho and Famous Monsters. I like those records. And then when Jerry took over and started singing, like with Project 1950, it was like,
it was a little, that's pretty cringy.
This is my original one of one artwork that Dr. Chud drew for me.
Oh God!
And it's
I don't know if we talk about him anymore either.
Yeah, it's Donald Trump grabbing a pussy, I think. And I met Dr. Chud at a show in Las Vegas a few years ago, and we just started talking, and he drew a picture and sent it to me at one point.
That's funny.
He's an all right guy.
Last time I played with Green Jello in New Jersey, which was a couple months ago, Dr. Chud was there, and he was hanging out with Green Jello. And I didn't say hello to. I met him a long time ago, but yeah, there's bad things about him out there too. So
I haven't heard the bad things about him.
Oh yeah, maybe ignorance is bliss, my friend. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
because I do love those records too. Trust me. Famous Monsters has some of my favorite Misfits songs on it. And American Psycho's just very consistently good. And I've opened for Michael Graves a couple times when I was in a horror punk / Misfits tribute band called Skeletal Life, and he was very nice to me, but yeah, questionable individuals.
They were fun shows. The few times I just did see them back in the 90s, late 90s. That was fun.
Did you see the version with Glenn Danzig back?
No, I have not.
Oh, you gotta see them now.
Yeah, I've seen plenty of videos on YouTube, but I have never seen them with Danzig back.
Still sounds terrible, but
yes,
but it's the best band they've ever had, and the most consistent band they've ever had too. Like, so it's been like almost 10 years already.
Right, and Dave Lombardo's playing drums.
I mean,
he's always my favorite.
AC Slade, who came from the New York scene. I used to tape AC Slade's solo record, like solo band, AC Slade and the Dark Party. Like,
sure.
I saw him in their Murder Dolls back in the day as well.
Yeah.
So, you know,
Yeah,
I don't know if he'd recognize me now, but like, I'd see him on the subway or something and just be like, "Yo, what's up, AC Slade?" You know.
Yeah, it's fun. I saw Doyle a few times on his solo tours, and Chud was supposed to be playing on that solo tour.
Yeah, there was some.
Yeah. But yeah, the one time I did meet Chud, and then I've talked to him a few times online, and he's in a band called the Karens now, I think.
Oh, I don't know about that.
Yeah, that's his new band.
Okay.
But yeah, it was fun. It was good stuff. I like those two records. A lot of people say, "Oh, it's not the same." Of course, it's not the same.
No, I consider them different bands.
Different band. Danzig wrote all those songs. That was Danzig's thing, and Danzig left, so they did something different. It was cool.
Yeah, and I mean, I saw the original Misfits with Glenn. You know, that's how they bill it now. At Madison Square Garden.
Nice.
With The Damned and Rancid.
No fun.
I know, how cool.
That was a great show, right?
Yeah, of course. It was, you know what's so funny? The thing I remember most about it, I mean, it was sold out. I think it's the first time a classic punk band had sold out Madison Square Garden. So it was a historic show. And right around Halloween 2019, like right before, a couple months before the world shut down. And of course, like there's like thousands of people screaming these lyrics, and you just don't realize how disgusting and misogynistic they all are until you're just like screaming it all with thousands of people like, "Oh, I'm glad I'm not a woman here."
Yeah.
I mean, I know it's horror, you know, it's horror based and Final Girl and everything. I'm not saying Glenn Danzig's misogynistic or anything, but man, it's pretty gross, those songs.
Did you see his movie, the Verotic or Verotic?
I saw both of them. Yeah.
Yeah, he did a Western too, but I haven't.
Yes, that. It's better.
Is it better?
It's not great, but it's better.
Because
it's a fun watch.
Barely made it through that Verotica one.
Oh, Verotic was terrible. I always tell my friend Jeff Brumis, who his whole channel is originally based on talking about Misfits. It's very popular now. Check it out on YouTube. He's been a guest on this show. I've been a guest on his show. I'm like, Verotic looks like a bunch of music video raw footage. Like if they just cut those each into 3-minute videos, they would be great. But they didn't.
It was I couldn't even tell you what any of it was about at this point. But
I don't know. Some girl with eyeballs on her tits or whatever. And I mean, cool concepts, just like bad execution. Yeah, the Western's better.
Those comics that he did too, those were hard to read. It was like, what the hell? I didn't get it. It wasn't my thing.
Yeah, I assume they were based on some of his comic titles, right? I never read the comics, but
there were a lot of that weird. Like there was like girls with vaginas on their faces and stuff, and it was just like, yeah, just being weird for the sake of being weird, kind of. I like weird, but there has to be kind of a reason for it.
Right. Yeah, what's it called? The Death Rider in the House of Vampires. And it's so weird because it was Julian Sands' last movie.
Oh, that's right. He disappeared out in the forest and they found him, didn't they?
They found him. Yeah, he's definitely dead. R.I.P. Julian Sands.
Yes. He was in
my least favorite Phantom of the Opera. You ever see him in the Phantom of the Opera?
I just remember that movie Warlock. I think he was in.
Oh yeah, I don't know. Yeah, I think wasn't he in Highlander or something too?
Was he in Boxing Helena? Wasn't that him?
I think that was him.
He was. It's been years.
I never saw that either. But again, that's that Misfits song Helena,
and it's a great song. I love that song.
That's one of my favorites for sure. Yeah, Warlock. Yeah, Julian Sands played the Phantom of the Opera in a late 90s Dario Argento directed version.
Really?
And within the fandom community, it's like you have to watch it because it's a Phantom movie, but it's like so nonsensical and weird. He's not even disfigured; he just looks like Julian Sands, and he like has sex with rats, and of course Asia Argento's in it, and she's all naked, and that's weird because her dad's directing the movie and stuff. Right. So it's just like, what's happening here?
That's weird.
Yeah, I recommend. I mean, I don't recommend it, but for a good laugh, I'd recommend it.
I might have to look that one up. I have so many movies on my watch list that I need to see, and I tend to go back and watch ones that I've seen 100 times.
Right. Because comfort food. Well, what's on your list? What do you want to see?
Oh, geez. So, a lot of old, 70s grindhouse drive-in stuff that I haven't seen. That if I'm on like Amazon Prime or whatever, and I see it, it's like, ooh, I don't think I've seen that, and then I put it on there, and then I start watching. It's like, oh wait, I have seen this. But there's a lot of that stuff that I like. I just really love that whole time frame of 70s grindhouse drive-in stuff.
Yeah.
Lately, I'm watching Lost again on Netflix because it's been so many years since I've seen that, and so I'm kind of like watching an episode or two of that every night, and trying to figure out what the hell's going on because they don't even know what's going on.
Yeah, I don't think there was ever really an explanation because they totally flubbed the ending of that show. I did watch it all once.
Yeah, they were just making it up as they went, and none of it makes sense. But it's entertaining to try and figure out what the hell is this, and so I've been watching that. I just
the mystery box. I do like the mystery box.
Yes.
Concept, there's no actual box.
And I watched The Boys, the new season.
Oh yeah, I gotta watch that. I'm not sure where I left off on that show.
Yeah, you have to go back and watch the previous seasons to stay fresh.
Yeah, I know I watched 1 or 2 seasons, but I don't even know what season they're up to now and where I left off. So I might have to start over.
Yeah, it's the 4th one. So yeah, it's good. Not as good.
Yeah, like pissing off a bunch of conservatives or something.
Because it's making fun of people, and that's what the whole point of the show is. It's
right.
The way we are and the way people are, and they're just now getting the joke. But yeah, it pokes fun at everybody.
Yeah,
both sides. So get over it. It's
yeah, for sure.
I don't get mad at people for their political views. They shouldn't get mad at me because of mine. I mean, I've lost friends over this. I don't want to talk about politics, but the way things are now, it's like if you don't support Trump, you're not going to be my friend. And then other ones that if you do support him, you're not going to be my friend. I was like, why? Why can't we just have our own opinions and be friends? I don't get that. So, yeah.
Yeah, I'll just say this. I wish the third party candidates were a little bit more viable because our choices are pretty grim. Yeah. They got a little bit better in the past week, but still not great.
I remember when everybody was going to vote for Ross Perot way back in the day. Remember that guy? He was funny.
I do remember him. Yes. Big ears, right?
That's the guy with the big ears.
Yeah, I mean, I wasn't very politically aware yet back then, but I do remember Ross Perot.
I try.
And ever since then, they've made it impossible for third candidates to get anywhere, which sucks.
Yeah. So, yeah, it's a weird time we're living in. We're going to see what happens. So, back to bands, though.
I know.
There's another
about a band.
Really good band. It's not a costume band, but it's a band called Die Spitz. I don't know if you've heard of them.
No, I don't think so.
4 girls that are just out of high school. They got together during COVID and learned these instruments because they couldn't go anywhere. So they hung out in their garage and they learned, and they sound like Josie and the Pussycats meets Venom. It's just so cool. They have this guttural singing style, and they switch in the drummer and the guitarist switch instruments off, and they all sing, and really catchy good stuff. That's them. I love them.
I'll follow them and check them out later.
Yeah. They've got this song called Hair of Dog, which I love. Then they've got a couple of songs that are a little more melodic and slow, which are cool, but for the most part, it's really got that cool old school Ramones sound, but with that guttural growling. And when they interview these girls, they're like all soft spoken. That's their really slow, mellow song there. That one.
Oh, okay.
I hate it when girls die. And it's a good song, but it's not really heavy. But they're fun. Yeah, young girls, like I said, right out of high school. I think they've got a bright future ahead of them. They're really good.
I'll check it out. Yeah, I want to know what the youth are doing, because they're going to carry this generation. You know, the people my age and older, they're not, I don't know. They're stuck in their ways, and, you know, I guess for the most part, and I want to see the youth. They got to start rocking and
They do.
carrying the future, and they do. Trust me, I know some people, and they're rocking. And
yeah, and
I go to local shows in like New Jersey where like teenagers are playing, and I'm glad to see that there's still some rock out there.
I know it's good. It's not like it used to be where there was just bands everywhere. There are very few bands out there, but there are some good ones. But then I'm guilty too. I'm stuck with my old stuff. If I go into the record store and I see something new, it's like, I don't want that. I want a Ramones record.
Right.
I want a Misfits record. I want an old Black Sabbath. Like today, I went to the record store. I bought 2 Misfits records and I bought a Black Sabbath record.
Yeah.
I didn't buy anything new. I bought all this old stuff because that's what I like. But very, very once in a while, I'll see, like with Die Spitz, I was watching punk rock bowling videos from Vegas on YouTube. And then after the Descendants played, they went into a Die Spitz video. I'm like, what is this? I don't want to see that. And I was going to go to forward it. And then they start playing. I was like, oh, wait a minute. This is really good. Nice. And then I started watching more and more of it. I was like, well, yeah, they're catchy. I really like them. Really like them.
Oh, the Descendants are so great, though.
Oh, the Descendants are the best.
I got to see them once. I should see them again. I mean, that's how I like my punk rock. Real tight, man. Real fucking tight.
So good. I saw them 3 nights in a row at the Whiskey when they did Everything Sucks. And then I saw them about 5 years ago here in Spokane.
Everything Sucks might be one of the best punk rock records of the 90s. Oh, top 5 for sure.
It was awesome. I saw them back in the 90s at the Roxy. And Fletcher from Pennywise came on stage to play a song, and the guitarist Steven gave Fletcher his guitar, and he started playing it. And, you know, Fletcher's this big, obnoxious, drunk guy. I don't know if you are familiar with him, but he's always causing problems. And he took the guitar and threw it out into the crowd because he didn't like the way it was being played. So then Steven jumps out into the crowd to get his guitar, and security jumped on him and started pulling him off of the guitar. And I ran over there and grabbed security and said, no, he's in the band. That's his guitar. They were trying to, you know, and he's got his precious blue metal flake guitar that Fletcher threw out into the crowd.
Oh, man.
Insane. That Fletcher guy was just nuts.
Yeah, I saw him play with Flag once as well.
Mm-hmm.
Where they were all the old members of Black Flag, and of course Bill Stevenson.
Right.
And that was the night I hung out with Jerry Only, and he was there just hanging out in his full costume and makeup and everything, just hanging out.
And he wasn't playing that night, but he had
no. And my friend who was in the horror punk band with me was like, "Hey, you're coming to the show? Come to the Irish bar down the street. Like, we're hanging out with Jerry Only." And I showed up and sat in a booth with Jerry for like an hour and some people, and he was pouring me beer from his own cup, you know.
Wow.
And I was like, he had his whole shoulder pads and everything. It was just like he just was there and to hang out with his friends from Flag, I guess. You know, because what's his name? The guitar player was also in the Misfits around that time as well. Des Cadena.
Yeah, Des.
Yeah, so he was playing as well.
Yeah.
Good show. And TSOL opened, although I don't remember them very much.
They've had so many members in that band. I
think this was the original lineup, because this was like, you know, within the past 10 years or so. True. I don't know. One of them has Parkinson's now, I hear. So, you know, I think go support them if you can. That's very sad, you know.
Yeah. So it's amazing how some of these bands are still around. I know Agent Orange just came and played a show here last month in Spokane, and I missed it. But from what I heard, it wasn't really the same. It was, but you know what is? I mean, it's, you know, you guys aren't going to be playing the same song or playing with the same like they played 30 years ago or more.
What was that? Bloodstains, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's the only song I really know of theirs, but it's a classic. Hell yeah,
it is.
Let's see. Catch up on some of these comments. The Chicken Drum. Yeah, we were talking about the chicken bands. Glow in the Dark. Yeah. I just start JG. Yeah, I know. You must. What's like? It looks like you have so many cool things. What are some of your favorite? What are these all toys behind you?
Yeah, pretty much. I just the Karens. I hate them already.
Yeah.
I collect stuff. I got monster toys and
What's your favorite kind of like things to collect? Like if you're out, I guess I imagine you find a lot of these things at your conventions. Like what do you look out for?
Anything 60s, 70s monster related. If I like find old famous monsters magazines, I'll always grab them, or old toys from the 70s, Star Wars stuff from the 70s. I love from the first Star Wars movie and Empire Strikes Back, because that was the coolest thing I'd ever seen at that point in my life.
Yeah.
I was 7 years old when Star Wars came out, and I'd never seen anything like that. And
wait, I have something in my slideshow for that. There it is.
Oh yeah.
What's happening here?
That was from Seattle, Emerald City, Seattle Comic-Con, probably 10 years ago or more. And just a little photo booth there that you can go and sit down with Greedo. And
who shot first?
Yeah, that was.
No, I'm asking you.
I shot first.
Yeah, that's the right answer.
Yes. Yeah, that was fun. So yeah, that was always my favorite. I was a big Star Wars geek when I was a kid. That was.
Do you still follow all the Star Wars movies and shows now, or how do you feel about it now?
I've seen all the movies. I watched some of the shows, but I think the last season of The Mandalorian, I only got halfway through it, and I was just bored.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't like the Boba Fett show. I was bored with that. I tried to watch that Acolyte that came on.
I hated that show.
I watched 2 episodes, and I was like, I don't even know what's going on.
Yeah, I mean, I know some people were like, "Oh, it's the best thing they've ever done," and I'm like,
"Get it?"
It didn't have the tone of Star Wars at all. It was all serious and no fun.
I would just rather go back and watch Empire Strikes Back again. I mean, I loved those first two, and I liked Rogue One. I thought that was good, and I liked the Solo movie, and a lot of people hated the Solo movie, but I loved it because
it was fun. Yeah,
Han Solo and Chewbacca were my favorite characters, and seeing them how they met and got the Falcon and everything, that was cool. I liked that.
There's a new show out now. I haven't even started it. What was it? Osaka?
Oh yeah, the Osaka. I did see that one. It was okay, but
it just came out, right?
That's been out for a little while.
No, there's a brand new one. What's the new Star Wars show?
I think the Acolyte was the newest.
Maybe. Oh, really?
Yeah. But
what was the one I was thinking of then? I can't even get them straight. There's so many of them now.
Yeah, I don't know. But the Book of Boba Fett or whatever that was
called.
Oh,
Andor, I think.
Oh, Andor.
Oh, that was terrible.
Yeah, I was bored with that too.
Acolyte's the one I haven't seen yet.
Yeah, Acolyte's the newest one. But the Andor one, yeah, I know I've heard that from a lot of people. It's the most amazing thing ever, and I was bored to death.
I was, yeah.
Wasn't my thing.
It was all serious and no fun. Like that's not Star Wars. It needs a balance,
Yeah, and
I feel like the tone was way off.
Love those first 2 movies the best. Jedi was fine, and then the newer ones, the Force Awakens, I thought was fun, and then the Last Jedi, I was bored. That was the first Star Wars movie I ever got up and went to the bathroom. Usually I'm fixated with it. It was got a pee, and then there's nothing going on here anyway. So,
well, I mean, I guess in their defense, if we were children and watching it, we might have a different perspective.
But yeah, that's because like I said, I was 7 years old when the first one came out, and at that point, I'd never seen anything like that.
Yeah,
my experience of viewing things was we had 3 channels, and I was watching the Munsters and Gilligan's Island and whatever Universal monster movie was coming on at night, Frankenstein, Dracula, Wolfman. So that's what sunk into my head. That's my favorite kind of stuff. So
what's better for you, the Addams Family or the Munsters?
I like the Munsters.
Yeah,
I like the Addams Family.
Did you see the Rob Zombie movie,
The Munsters?
Yeah,
I did. I liked it. Was really pretty to look at visually.
Right.
I liked all the lighting. It looked like an old Mario Bava movie with the lighting and everything. It was so colorful and it was fun, but you just can't remake something like that. If I had never seen the original Munsters, and if I was 7 years old and saw Rob Zombie's Monsters, I probably would have thought it was the coolest thing ever.
Right.
But yeah, a lot of people really, really hated that and were really angry about it. And
I was just kind of in between. I mean, I watched it. It was okay. I didn't love it. I didn't hate it.
I didn't hate it. And it's Rob Zombie doing what he wants to do. And he doesn't care what you think. You know, it's like that. People don't understand that as people are sitting around bitching about what he's doing and what he's doing sucks. But he doesn't care because he's out doing it because he likes to do it. And he's out doing it and he's doing it for himself.
Some of his movies that were not as famous or actually some were actually good. Like the one about the witches.
Yeah, the Lords of Salem.
Lords of Salem, and then there was another one.
31.
31. Yeah, it was kind of like a Running Man sort of situation. Yeah, that was kind of fun. It was just like there's no plot, lots of action.
Yeah, and the first
cool.
the first time I saw 31, I was like, "What the hell? I don't like this." And then I went back again and watched it, and a few weeks later, and I liked it more the second time. It just depends on your frame of mind, I think.
Yeah, I should look back at that. And then Malcolm McDowell's in it. Like that's pretty cool. And for both of those movies, Meg Foster's in it, and she has the most incredible eyes of anyone I've ever seen.
Yes.
I've been in love with Meg Foster's eyes since Masters of the Universe.
Yes.
So anytime I get to see that, is a win for me. I wanted on my short list of band names for my new band, which ended up being called Pop Perversion. Meg Foster's Eyes was one of my band names.
Well, you can write a song. Meg Foster's perfect song.
I intend to. That'd be great. I mean, wow, is she still alive? I hope so.
She is. She was in the Lords.
Did you ever meet her?
Never had a chance to meet her. No, but yeah, she's always been good. I love her.
76 now. She lives in PA. Oh no, that's when she was born. Where she was born. 76 years old.
Wow.
Yeah. Incredible eyes, and They Live, of course.
They Live, classic. Love it.
Yeah. So I didn't get to ask you this before. We were talking about Phantoms. What's your favorite version of Phantom of the Opera? And do you have you ever drawn any Phantoms?
Well, yeah. Anytime I've drawn the Phantom, it's been the Lon Chaney version, the original. That one's the one that I know the most. And then the second one that would be the Phantom of the Paradise, which was in the 70s.
Brian De Palma.
Brian De Palma. That was great. I'm not too familiar with the other ones. I know Robert Englund did a Phantom of the Opera, but
have you seen it?
I think I saw it when it first came out back in the early 90s.
1989.
Yeah, it's been a while.
Yeah, that's actually a really good one, and I would recommend the Blu-ray they put out of that. It looks fantastic.
Yeah, it's been a long time.
Good rewatch, and it's so weird because it's bookended by present day. It's like the character gets knocked into the past, you know, and where it starts is in New York City, 1989, present day, at a Tower Records, and I'm like, I think I've been to that Tower Records. Like that, this hits very close to home to me. You know, that's pretty cool.
Yeah,
and Molly Shannon's in it as well.
Yeah, it's been a long time. I'll have to go look that one up again.
Yeah. Do you know Popcorn?
Oh yeah.
So it was the same lead actress as Popcorn.
Okay.
Which I consider that a Phantom of the Opera movie too.
Yes, definitely.
I think she did those two back to back, and it was like, that's so crazy. You did two Phantom movies back to back.
Yeah. Yeah, Joe Bob showed that on the last drive-in.
Yes.
A couple seasons ago. Yeah.
Yes, she did. Jill Sholin, she was on the show.
A lot of the movies that I've seen, I'm revisiting them through Joe Bob on the last drive-in. It's like, like Demon Wind and stuff like that. It's like I haven't seen that in years, but
see, I love his show because it's catching me up on all the stuff that I should have been watching the last 20, 30 years, and I just never did. So
yeah, and then
some
shows that I just skip through, like anything with the subtitles and stuff. I usually just skip.
Yeah, there was one like the Tigers or something, and I got halfway through that, and it's too much work staring at the screen.
Trying to read all the subtitles and everything's not my thing. I don't like it.
Yeah, exactly.
And some of those are just really hard to watch.
I'm sure they're great movies. We're multitaskers here.
Yeah, I just watched I'm not even sure if I'm saying this right. Santa Sangre.
I couldn't tell you.
So good. It was.
Was that on Joe Bob?
No, it's on.
What kind of movie is it? Is it foreign?
It's foreign, early 90s, but it's just really a supernatural thriller, carnival circus atmosphere. Very strange. One of those things that I can't tell you too much about it because it'll ruin it. But that was a really good movie, and I hadn't seen it for many years. And,
was it streaming somewhere or?
Yeah, it was either on Amazon or Screenbox or something. Santa Sangre, Sangre.
Gotcha.
So look that one up. That one was really good. I like that one.
Who are your favorite monsters? I guess. Do you have a favorites list? Or do you have any original characters that you've like developed or anything like that?
Not really original stuff, just my own creations. No, I just make stuff up all the time.
Yeah.
I did do a comic strip back in the early 90s for underground fanzines. I think we might have talked about this, Real Life with Debbie Dipper.
Oh yeah, I have an issue of that with Dookie in it. Oh, maybe you're in there.
I could be in there. Yeah, I did comic strips, and it was about a turd that was possessed by the devil. And
Perfect.
Yeah, and this was before South Park did it with that
Right.
Mr. Hanky character.
I'll check after the show and I'll let you know.
Yeah, I think that those guys from South Park saw my comic strip and they changed it to being Santa Claus turd because mine was Satan. There's Santa Claus, mine was the devil. So basically, the turd was possessed by the devil, and he came out and he had horns and a tail, and he was acting all mischievous and stuff. And that was the story.
And was there one in every episode? I mean, in every issue, or
every issue there from like 91 to 93, I think. I did those, and then I think she stopped doing the magazine at that point. And
remember zines?
Yeah,
do we have to explain what that is to the youth today? There used to be fanzines. People went to the photocopier and handmade magazines.
I used to do it all the time. I would go after work. I would go down to the copy shop on the corner and sit there at the copy machine and make all the copies, and then go home and staple them all together, and then put them in the mail and mail them out to people.
Wait, you had your own zine?
Yeah. People would
send
$2 and $3 for postage, and I would send it. I had one called Monkey Spuzz, and that was the one that I did. And I think I did like 5 or 6 issues of that, and then I just contributed a lot to other ones.
Do you still have these?
I don't. I'm sure that they're still. I don't know where they all. It's been so long. I don't know where this stuff went. I should
put it out to the world. If you have them, I'll scan them.
Oh, I know. I've got some friends that still have them, and I say, no,
good.
Get rid of those things.
Oh, really? You don't want them out there?
Some of this stuff, I don't even remember doing it. It was, in the 90s, I was just running around partying and acting like an animal all the time. And I look at some of that stuff. I was like, what was I thinking? When did I do that? I have no idea. Wake up the next day and go, look what I drew. What is that? It's weird. But we were all young and stupid once, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
Nothing bad. Nothing like
we're still stupid. We're just not young anymore.
Right, exactly.
All right, let's see what else I had in here. I just had some random art in here, I think. Oh, here's you with Sid.
That's me and Sid back, and that was probably like 2013, 2014 maybe.
That's cool.
Crypticon.
Yeah, there's Chop Top.
Yeah.
What was so cool about going to his place is he showed me all this like artwork people would send him of like him and Buckethead and stuff. So I'm a huge Buckethead fan too, and they did like those Cornbugs albums together.
Oh yeah, I love those.
And I showed him. I had brought it. I was like, I don't need you. Most of the time, I brought like 1 or 2 things for the person to autograph for me from my personal collection, and for him, I'm like, you already autographed this like 20 years ago because it was all hand done. Like even it was like a CDR with handwriting on it, and it was his. But I just wanted to show you that I have this. It was the original Cornbug CD and personalized to me.
That's great that he invited you to his house.
Well, I had connections. Yeah,
that
was the easiest place to do the interview. Just come over.
Nice.
So, I actually hung out with his wife more than him, but here's some Misfit stuff.
Yeah, those are older. God, that Doyle show I did.
Did they actually use that as a flyer?
No, it's just one that I did. I just made it up for the show, and I sold them, and that was at the Hop, and the Hop's been closed for years. So that's 2014 too. Yeah, so 10 years ago already. Wow.
I guess that tracks.
Mm-hmm.
And there's so wait, I guess you didn't see this show, but I guess I stole it from your Instagram. It's probably from Riot Fest or something.
Yeah, one of those. Yeah.
Okay, here's my green jelly.
Green jello stuff.
Yeah, come see us. Guar, Eddie. Yeah, okay, got all this. So is this all your hand-drawn cards before they went out?
Yeah, those are from the.
So they're one of a kind.
Those are all one of a kind hand-drawn cards that are mixed in with the sets. So when you buy a set of wacky packages on Tops.com, they like 1 out of every 150 sets has a hand-drawn sketch card in it, and that's one of those. Yes.
That's so cool. And people find them and they send you
Yeah,
pictures of it.
Yeah, that's one of the girls that found one of my cards, and she was all happy. So she sent me a picture of herself holding the card. And
super cool.
Happy collectors.
Crypticon, yeah.
That's actually.
So now you do art for them as well?
Yeah, that's the artwork that I did for the show this year.
That's sweet.
We'll be doing that show again in March of 2025.
And here's Joe Bob. See, I had all this stuff in here, and we were already talking about it.
Yeah, and that was one that when I drew that, I sent it to him on Instagram, and his assistant wrote me back, or maybe it was Darcy or Diane that wrote me back and said, Joe Bob wanted me to tell you that he liked that art, so I'm telling you. I was like, oh, okay.
Nice. See, I gotta message the Darcy account tonight.
Yeah.
I always try to go through the most official channels first, and I was like, oh, let me go through the website, the official email, and everything, and that shit doesn't go anywhere. I don't think.
Yeah, she's really good about checking her Instagram messages and stuff, and she's
I need to start littering in the A-list or none of these people are A-listers, but B-listers, I guess.
Sure.
I've been talking to Troma about getting Lloyd for like 3 years.
Right.
Literally, one of the times I was supposed to interview him was like the day he got COVID and stuff like that. It's just like a comedy of errors there, but hopefully I'll get Lloyd, and
that would be fun.
I'd love to get Joe Bob. Rob Zombie, if you're listening, you used to play shows with Haunted Garage. Let's talk.
Yeah. You'd love to get Rob Zombie.
How to get in touch with him. Oh, and here's Reanimator.
The one that I drew. Yeah. Love Reanimator and Barbara.
So that was, see, this is my flow. I was going to lead into these conversations, but they just happen naturally anyways.
Yeah. Oh, geez. I don't even remember that. 2017. Yeah.
Was this actually a double feature on TV?
No, that was one that I just made up one day. I think I just sat down and I was looking at,
Are these real movies?
No.
Oh,
no, I was just looking.
I'm fooled. They look like they could be real movies.
Yeah, looking at the old, I love the old movie ads that used to run in the papers and the old posters, and I just made that up.
Like, wasn't there a movie called Flesh for Frankenstein or something?
Yes. Yeah.
So, okay.
So I did Frankenstein Eats Flesh.
Yeah.
That's a movie that I should make someday. Well, there's Ash.
And there's Ash, of
Love
course.
the Evil Dead. Yeah.
So here's the Star Wars. I just liked this. What is this? What do you call this?
That's 20 eyes after the Misfits.
So there you go. This goes in my Misfits block.
Yes, there are 20 eyes there.
So yeah.
20 eyes in my head.
We talked about that. We won't go there.
Jesus is my flu shot.
Yeah.
That was when you don't need to get a flu shot if you believe in Jesus, because people that believe in Jesus don't get the flu. I thought that was ridiculous, so I drew that.
There's many levels of ridiculousness there.
Yes.
Listen, Jason. Oh, this is cool. Sort of related to this. I'm not 100% guaranteeing I'm going to be there, but I'm planning on being there. Green Jello, Halloween night, Hard Rock, Pittsburgh. We're playing with First Jason.
Oh, nice.
You know about them?
Yes.
Yeah.
Ari.
I don't remember his name, but he's the kid who pops out of the water as Jason in the first movie. He has a band called First Jason, and
he was
Halloween night. What a perfect night to play with them.
Yeah, he was booked to be at a show in Vegas I did last year for 3 days, and I was looking forward to meeting him. And first day he wasn't there, second day wasn't there, third day he showed up for like an hour. I saw him in the bathroom. I was like looking, I was like, he's got the First Jason jacket. And then I went over to his cell and said, no, he left. So he's only there for an hour. So I don't know if
let's hope he shows up.
I don't know if he wasn't feeling well or what, but he was booked to be there for 3 days and he only showed up for an hour. So
okay, well, hopefully if his band is booked, maybe he'll show up for that.
Hopefully, yeah.
I mean, what a cool show. And I played at the Hard Rock Pittsburgh once, and they keep asking us back. I don't know why. I mean, Green Jello, we just like fuck up the place.
Well, that's fun though.
They fucking sell liquor though, I guess. Yeah. So.
Oh, and those were some ugly stickers that I did for Tops.
Nice.
Those are one of a kind sketch cards also.
Super cool. I don't know how you come up with this crap.
Well, those were actually characters that were done back in the 60s.
Oh, okay. Yeah, okay, that makes sense.
And then I drew my versions of them, but they're based on the original stickers that were done by Norman Saunders and Wolverton. Basil Wolverton were the original artists that did those.
Nice. Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah.
That's cool.
And then the monster cereals.
Yeah. Do you have a favorite monster cereal?
I love Count Chocula. It's not good now, but back when I was a kid, it was good. And now the newer stuff isn't the same. But I just like the characters.
Right, of course.
Yeah,
I don't know. This is just some random stuff, I guess.
Random character that I drew, and I put a Freakies t-shirt on him. And that was the last breakfast. And the trademark holder for the Freakies characters actually contacted me on that and said, I can't sell it anymore. He's going to take legal. I said, well,
I was wondering, like, if you ever get pushback, because, you know, I don't want to get you in trouble or anything, but, you know, there's some characters here that aren't yours.
I said, look, I only made 100 of them, and they're almost sold out. He's like, well, don't sell anymore and don't make any more because I own the trademark of the Freakies. And I said, well, why don't you
license it to
sell me the license or have me license it so I can make prints and stickers and t-shirts because you're not making anything. And he said, no, it would cost you more than it was worth. I was like, okay, well, you need to start making some Freaky stuff because there's a demand for it out there. Everything that you see, even the Guardians of the Galaxy, that last movie, he was wearing a Freakies t-shirt and it was an unlicensed Freakies t-shirt that somebody bought on Etsy.
That's
so
funny.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. I've gotten a few over the years. Terrifier was one that I was surprised about because I did a Terrifier print, Art the Clown. And,
that's a hot IP right now.
It was really hot, and somebody bought one of the prints from me and took it to a horror convention, and they had the actor sign it, and the director, writer of the movie signed it, and all the cast signed it, and they all loved it, and they posted pictures of it all over.
They probably don't even own it though.
And they loved it, but when I put that print on Etsy, it got shut down by Terrifier Holdings LLC or whatever. If I would have just put it on and called it Crazy Clown Print or something, it would have been okay, but I called it the Terrifier.
Yeah, you got to change it just this much.
Yeah, I can't use the word Terrifier, but I can do it as Psychotic Clown or Crazy Clown. So, yeah.
How about Terrified
Clown.
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I still haven't seen that second movie they made. Was it any good? Did you see it?
The second one is awesome.
Yeah.
I mean, a lot of people are like, no, I don't like it because it's just too gory. And
it's very gory.
It makes sense, but it does make sense, and it is too gory, but it's fun. It's like
that's the point, though, right?
Yeah, it's, to me, I was laughing hysterically when he's, dismembering people and pouring salt into their wounds and peeling their skin off and everything. I was laughing because it was funny. It was like a cartoon to me.
Right.
I wasn't taking it seriously, and I love both of those movies. The new one's coming out. Santa Claus. He's going to be Christmas.
Right, I saw that. Yeah.
And I'm going to be doing a show in Ontario, California in September, and the entire cast is going to be there for that. That's called Creepy Con. I did the t-shirt design for that show.
Creepy Con. Is that
Ontario?
I gotta look, but do they have bands play there?
I'm not sure.
Because I know one of my recent past guest vision video is playing one of those things, and it might have been that one. I forget.
It could be. It's going to be a
con or Creepy Con or something.
Yeah, like I said, the Terrifier cast is going to be there. The cast of ET is going to be there. Hellraiser cast is going to be there.
Drew Barrymore?
No Drew Barrymore, but everybody else.
Yeah.
And, Billy D. Williams is going to be there, and
nice.
It's going to be a big show. And
cool.
I usually don't travel that far for shows, but I did the t-shirt design, so I figured I better show up and be there.
Yeah, totally.
It'll be fun. So
let's see what else I got. Just Smoking Angels,
Heaven and Hell, Garbage Pail Kids influence kind of thing.
Yeah. The
Ninja
Turtles.
I did a show in Vegas earlier this year, and the voices of the Ninja Turtles were there, so I did that.
Oh, well, one of them's in the documentary. You know that, right?
I think I remember you telling
Robbie Wrist.
Right.
Who was in the Undead Kennedys. The actual band with Dookie Fleischwater is the voice of Michelangelo.
Right. And
it was so fun talking to him because you just close your eyes and like you're talking to a fucking Ninja Turtle.
And he was Cousin Oliver on the Brady
Yes, that's right. Yep. And he's in Sharknado. So that goes back to the Guello song, right?
And he was
Sharknado. He's in Sharknado.
The genius kid in that horrible Battlestar Galactica 1980.
Oh, really? I haven't seen it.
Oh, it's terrible.
That's funny. Yeah, he was a character. He's great.
He was a bus driver in Sharknado, I think, wasn't he?
Something like that. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think I saw that on Joe Bob as well.
Yeah. That's my barf bag. I give that out to people whenever they buy something. That's my business.
Was that inspired by the Haunted Garage's barf bags?
Actually, no. It was a Mark of the Devil.
See, that's where Dookie got his influence. So it's directly back to the source.
Back in the 70s, they used to give you barf bags when you walked into those movies, and I always thought that was cool. So brown barf bags, yes.
Let's see what else we got.
That's the show for CreepyCon in Ontario that I was talking about.
Nice. So people can be able to buy that there.
Yep, that
on
shirt
T-shirts and stuff.
Yes. T-shirts will be on sale at the show. Yes.
Sweet.
Aftermath.
And so, what is this? Do you make these as well by hand, or who makes these?
I make the original out of clay, and then I make a rubber mold, and then I pour the resin into it to mass produce them.
So you're not just pencil and pen; you also make things like.
No, I sculpt things. Like I think I said earlier, when I used to work in LA at the Feather Store, we made movie props and stuff, and I used to work on all kinds of weird stuff.
And does this character have a name, or these characters?
No, I mean, not really. This is Frankenberry Shrunken Head, because I like shrunken heads, so I made the Frankenberry Shrunken Heads, and then just weird little zombie monsters that I made. Yeah.
Super cool. And so, okay, promote yourself. Where can we buy your stuff? Toyghoul.com, right?
You'd have to go to the Facebook page. The Toyghoul.com thing I don't use anymore because it was just a hassle to go in and update the website all the time, and people weren't looking at it. It's like I would post stuff for sale on Facebook or Instagram or on Etsy, and people would buy it, but I'd go put all this stuff on the website, and for some reason nobody was going to look at it. So
people don't really go to .coms anymore.
No, the web and it was costing me money every year to have it, and I was just like, nah, I don't need it. Everybody goes on Facebook.
And what about eBay? Do you do eBay and all that stuff?
Yeah, username on eBay is Toyghoul, and then Facebook.com Toyghoul, and Instagram is Scheres on Instagram, and you can follow me at any of those. And I'm always posting new artwork and whatever's for sale and where I'm going to be.
Yes, go check it out.
Yeah, I don't have any shows.
Go check them out at Green Jello on
July 31st. I will be the guy wearing a wolf mask and playing a cowbell, probably.
You got to send me pictures. That'll be fun. Oh, and by the way, like I left a bunch of my solo albums that are hand-drawn covers there. Well, I left them at the Green Jello merch booth, so I'm assuming they have them in their box somewhere. Have them give one to you for me. I'll tell them to
definitely
just for you. Everyone else has got to buy one, but
yes, everyone else has
give
to
one
buy
to you if you see them there. Because
I don't think Bill's going to make me pay to get in.
Good, yeah. Well, prepare for it anyways. He might not be there in time to tell them that. You know what I mean?
No, I don't have to buy a ticket or anything, do I? He goes, "Oh, you're in the band, so we'll see." Just
say you're in the band. I think they're so used to so many people showing up being in the band that they'll be like, there's another one.
And it's such a small club that they're playing at too. I don't know how many people are even going to go to this thing, but I've seen shows there where it's packed and there's people, out the door, and then I've also been to shows there where there's like 3 people there. So I'm guessing
depends on the opening bands too. I guess
it depends on who's playing, what night.
Do you know who they're playing with there? Anyone you know? Oh well, obviously the Convalescence is their band they're on tour with.
Yeah, no one that I've heard of, but it could be a hot band. I don't know. I don't know what's in now. So
right. Does this make any sense to you? Chaos Comics inspired by Green Jello logo pin. I don't know what that means.
I think Chaos Comics had like a happy face with the crossbones. That looks kind of similar to the Mr. Yuck with the crossbones.
Yeah, Mr. Yuck. It's based on the poison face.
Mr. Yuck with the poison thing.
Yeah. Evil Ernie.
Smiley pin. Yeah.
Right. Yeah, it's similar as well. Yeah, it's the Yuck. EUCK, and it's based on a character called Yuck from the 70s or 80s.
Yeah, it was a sticker. They used to give us stickers, and we
put it on things that are poisonous.
Put it on things
so
that
kids
were
don't drink it. Yeah.
So, saw a bottle of Drano under the sink and you saw that on there, you knew not to drink it because common sense would tell you not to drink it anyway. But I guess you had to put a sticker on there to warn you not to drink it.
Yeah, right. Let's see if I can look it up real quick.
Mr. Yuck.
Mr.
Not around anymore.
Yeah, I remember getting those as a kid. I don't know. Look it up. You'll find it.
Dr.
Herbert West. Cool.
Okay.
I forget what this is in reference to. Fruity Pebbles is just confetti now.
Yeah.
Yes. Yuck. Common Sense. You mean not to drink poison, or how do you think we became what we are now? No, just kidding. Don't drink poison,
That
kids.
poison looks delicious. I think I'll drink some of that. Yes.
Yeah. You know it's good if there's a yuck on it. No, don't do it. This has been awesome. Let's see. Let me promote myself. Of course, nothing really to promote here except awareness of my documentary that I'm working on, and I'll be working on a lot next month.
And I am looking forward to seeing this.
Yes, for sure. I'll keep you updated.
Now, did you get interviews with like Linnea Quigley and Brink Stevens and
Brink and Michelle came over and we did a group interview with them and Dookie together.
Yeah,
Linnea I've talked to, but never. I don't know if it's gonna come together.
Yeah, okay.
But I hope so. But you know, I have like over 50 interviews now, so I don't. Everything else is kind of icing on the top.
Right.
And I just want all the 3 girls in it, you know. But we'll see. Yeah. But Brink and Michelle came and did it, and they were incredible and gracious.
And did you talk to any of the Gorgor girls? I know Barbara's.
Yeah. Well, I talked to Barb's daughter.
And what was
Josie Cat
and Carol? What happened?
Okay.
What happened to her?
Yeah. This is a funny story.
Okay.
I guess kind of. We know where she is, and I'm pretty sure she's aware of it, but she doesn't have any social media or anything to reach out directly. But she is married to Rob Belasco, who plays bass for Rob Zombie and Ozzy Osbourne.
Awesome. I did not know that.
Yeah, so I see pictures of her sometimes pop up on his Instagram.
Huh.
I'm like, there's Carol. And my friend is friends with Rob and has told him about the documentary, and I think when it's further along we're gonna try to reach out again, but I don't know if she wants anything to do with it. I hope so, because it's so funny being like, hey Rob, famous bass player for Ozzy Osbourne, can I talk to your wife?
Right.
I don't want you, but I also, can you talk to Rob for me, because he's involved, you know. I'd like to get Rob.
Yeah, I remember running into her one night in a club after the band had broke up. I was like, "Oh, you're a Gorgor girl," and she was all excited that I even knew who she was. I was like, "Yeah, seen you millions of times with the band," and she was really nice. Yeah.
I mean, I would hope if there was any, like, I know there was some weirdness, like jobs that she couldn't get because of her past and stuff like that, but now she's married to a fucking rock star, so it's time to tell your story. Right. You know, you're gonna be in it either way because of archival footage. So
sure,
please, Carol, if you're watching, reach out to me.
I think she's all over that Montel Williams thing.
Yeah, exactly. Which, yeah, I'm gonna have to find out my fair use. You know, that's a whole nother situation. Yeah. Last night I talked to Volvatron from Guar, so go check that out. It was awesome. Yes.
She wasn't in the band for very long.
No, one tour. I think, yeah. So it's a blip in the map, but it's an interesting story nonetheless. Of course, there's the first post Odorous tour.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to go back and watch that.
Yeah, cool. Check it out. It's fun. Of course, my band Pop Perversion. Check it out. We have one song out. Still only one song. But working on it, I'm working on it behind the scenes. Banana Slamma is the next show on the VonPod. So I'm getting into the 8-band circuit now.
I love that. I'm going to check those guys out.
Yes. Yes, she designed stuff for Cradle of Filth and a lot of other rock stars, Judas Priest and all kinds of stuff. That wasn't green jello toothpaste. That's funny. Yes, and that is why your teeth are falling out. And I think that's all I got.
All right.
Any last words? Anything you want to promote or shout out? Or
no, just no shows coming up in August, but September CreepyCon in Ontario, California. October Puyallup Halloween show with Elvira.
Oh yeah, you know, that's what I forgot to mention. You know, she hosted a Fangoria convention in the 80s that Haunted Garage played at the LAX hotel. Were you there?
I saw the video.
Yeah, right.
Yes, I wasn't there.
No, you didn't.
I think I saw it somewhere.
He thinks he saw the video.
I think I saw
Yes,
something.
there's some video of that.
There's
Yes.
some video floating around.
And there's more. I know there's another cameraman in there that I have not identified. So if anyone can identify that person, or anyone who shot Haunted Garage, let me know.
Yeah, and then I've got a Halloween Expo here in Spokane coming up at the end of October, or is it the beginning of October? I can't remember which, but if you're in Spokane, Halloween Expo at the Convention Center will be a good show.
Nice.
Kelly Maroney from Chopping Mall is going to be there.
Nice.
And the kid that was in Child's Play is going to be there. Eric Roberts is going to be there, which is weird because I don't know if he's done any horror, but I guess
Eric Roberts. What has he been? Who's that?
He was in. Well, I remember him from Star 80, where he played the creepy guy, Dorothy Stratton's boyfriend.
Okay.
And,
I don't know it.
Yeah, he's a well-known actor from all kinds of movies that I've never seen.
Gotcha.
He was in the Batman movie with Heath
Oh yeah, The Dark Knight. Yes.
He was in that.
Gotcha.
And V. Neal is going to be there.
He was in the Human Centipede, or at least one of them.
I hated that movie. I liked it. Centipede. It was just too gross for.
Yeah, I haven't seen the sequels, but I heard they're.
I watched the first one, and that was enough. I said no. There's other things I'd rather watch than this. Yeah, so those shows coming up September, October, and that's about it. I've got.
Yeah, I think we're there. Check out, just look it up, Spotify, YouTube. Well, it's definitely on my channel, so look up on this channel, Pop Reversion. It should pop up. No pun intended.
And check out Gorilla Rabbit and Chicken. They are a great band. And
maybe I'll have them on the show.
Yes, they would love to be on the show. I think that would be fun. And Dice Spits, young girls that, like I said, Josie and the Pussycats meets Venom. I guess it's weird to it's fun. It's catchy, nice catchy songs and guttural growl vocals. I really enjoy that.
Yes, support the youth.
Support the youth. And as far as card sets coming out, there's going to be a Garbage Pail Kids set coming out online this month. I can't tell you what it is yet because Topps hasn't announced it, but I did a bunch of sketch cards for that.
Nice.
I'm working on a new set of wacky packages. It'll be out in October. And then the Marvel cards that I'm doing for Upper Deck, those should also be out in October or November.
Barnyards of the Ramones are good in my... Yes.
Okay. I miss the Ramones.
Yes.
That was my favorite band. I saw them 3 nights in a row at the Palladium in Hollywood.
Oh, wow.
Mondo Bizarro tour. The first night, House of Pain opened and got booed off the stage. And then the second and the third night, Body Count opened.
Oh, wow.
You would boo Body Count off the stage.
No.
You were afraid of Body Count.
Yeah, as you should be.
Yeah. But those were
that's hardcore. I mean, that must have been... When did that album come out? I mean, was that before After Police or after?
Yeah, that was 1992.
Okay.
Cop Killer.
Yeah.
And that was
Cop Killer, that's right.
That was the Mondo Bizarro tour. And one of the funniest things from that Ramones show is there was a deaf guy in the front row, and so they had a guy doing sign language. And of course, it's a Ramones show, and he's like, he didn't, you can't do Ramones.
Yeah,
yeah, it was funny, but yeah, great.
I
show.
don't want to be a pinhead no more. I don't know.
Yeah, those were great shows. I loved.
I never saw the Ramones, but I've seen Marky Ramone play with Andrew WK singing twice, so that was pretty cool. You want to get really deep into a concept band? Andrew WK will put you in a hole.
Really? I'm not too familiar.
Oh my God. Don't even get me started. I will go on for another hour about that guy. Yes, the music is a smoke show. The music's also incredible, but it's just, you got to push it away. And it's a whole horror show concept, kind of like a living, like Andy, Andy Kaufman type situation. Yeah. And then he just disappeared.
Yeah, I was gonna say, is he even still around? I haven't seen or heard anything.
He put out an album, I think 2022 or something like that, and it was kind of like a Death of Andrew WK sort of album. And then he literally posted a picture of just his clothes on the ground as if he just literally disappeared and then shut down all his social medias and websites, just gone. Yeah, it's a whole thing. Trust me, it's very fascinating, but I don't have the time to get into it right now. Like, look up Andrew WK conspiracy and just have an entire day to kill on it.
Yeah, I just remember that one song,
Party Hard.
Yeah, and that's the only thing I knew it from. But yeah, crazy.
Yeah, it goes so insanely deep. It's a horror movie, like a living horror movie situation. Yeah, look it up. Anyways, I had a whole show on YouTube about it. Actually, here, let me show you this right before I end. I think I still have the theme on it. I had a show on here, but I didn't. I would love to revive it. It's just I don't have enough time to do all the shows that I want to do, you know? But it was called the AWK Files. Let's see if I have. Yeah. So here, let me show you the theme song that I had for it. And I edited this whole thing together to show you kind of what it really is. Okay.
Okay, very cool.
Yeah, that's the real Andrew WK. Just really creepy stuff.
All right.
Yes. Cool. What do we got? Some comments. Warthogs tribute to the. But you're create it. Don't talk about it. Do it.
Create it. Warthog, crazy.
Yeah.
Crazy.
Oh wow, that's cool.
Oh, that's fun. A 70s ticket stub.
Yeah, well, check out. I had a couple episodes of it, and then I just was too busy. Maybe one day I'll continue it. That and my Phantom show.
Very cool.
Anyways, Banana Slamma, that's the next show. Come see us.
Looking
not
forward
together,
to
but separately on tour with Green Jello.
Yes.
And
I will be at the Green Jello show July 31st at the Big Dipper in Spokane,
which is in only a couple days.
Yeah,
the first night is tonight. I'm sure I'm on like their like thread of, you know, like a group chat. So I'm like getting all the minute-to-minute updates.
I wonder if they're going to be bringing their bus to Spokane.
I'm sure they will. Yeah.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see the bus.
All right, follow Chad, follow me. Stay tuned. Watch the Guar Pod if you're into that kind of thing. And this is funny, totally relevant to the Andrew WK thing. My closeout song is my own Andrew WK parody.
Perfect.
So thank you and goodbye.
Yeah, thanks for having me, and I will talk to you again soon.
Hell yeah, buddy.
We've been talking for a lot.
Yes, 2 hours. Sorry, I almost cut you out. 2.5 hours. Holy shit.
2.5 hours.
Yeah, see, I knew this guy could talk. And well, you know what? Maybe we'll do it again sometime. I'm sure we could just rap for another 2 hours.
Anytime. I'd love to. Anytime.
All right, man. Have a good one.
All right, I'll talk to you soon. Thanks. See you.
Like, share, subscribe.